Oh,
Hello.
hello.
Hi.
Can they hear me? Hello, hello. Yes, yes, we're live. We're live. Ooh. Right. I got a list of shit to do, so prepare yourselves to be amazed. Are we doing the re-roll bit sync? Yes, Uli, just calm down, dude. Just calm down, right? We'll get there. We'll get there. Stop throwing your money at these lunatics. Right? Give me the re-rolls instead.
Time to mute.
Time to mute. Right. Welcome to Heavyweight Gaming. Oh, so excited. We do loads of RPGs. We do a lot of DnD5e. We've done some Pathfinder. We've done some Vampire the Masquerade. We've done Mass. We've done Tales of the Loop. I think we did an Alien RPG over 1 than 24 hours. Tonight we are going to blow your minds. We are starting session 1 of our new Dungeons & Dragons 5th Ed campaign, When Glory is Not Enough. We've got 6 coconuts joining us. Oh, there's a lot of coconuts on the channel. But these 6 are going to be our party. We'll do introductions shortly, so bear with us. It's the first session, so it might be... I'll get through it as quick as I can. Ready to the links, bitch. Thank you, Bardic. You are a hero. I've got another one to you throw in, but we'll get there in a second. So, social media. We'll throw a link in the chat, which I've been enlightened is super amazing and very useful for those streaming and using Discord. But we'll get that up there. So come and join us on Discord. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We've got a YouTube channel. It's not social media, but I will respond if you leave messages. So a little bit like social media. But you can go check out the 3,000 hours of RPGs that we've got all over there. It's super, super, super good. Honest, Gov. We play in our homebrew world of Colossus. Bear that in mind, and I'll get to that bit later. 23 people. What are you doing on a Monday? Watching, admit, this is the greatest D&D Britain's ever seen, by the way. Well, just don't quote me on that in 3 hours. So, sponsors. We are not sponsored by Sirenscape, which was a great follow-up to sponsors, but they are very aware and very happy that we use their product, as are we. It is brilliant for creating an ambient game. Epic games need epic sounds. Get a t-shirt. You can go to their, you can use them on your Bluetooth devices, your tablets, your phones, your TVs, your computers, and if you're playing around the table, you're lucky enough to have all those things next to you, and you can create a really cool ambient effect for your dragon fights and bandit fights and walking along the lovely river and elves, vegan elves and other elves that are available. Coyote, there you go. Coyote Grey, unbelievable. Roll 20, Mel. Roll 20. We're going to roll 20 now. Go to the Roll 20 market, type in Coyote Grey, and you'll find his chibi tokens with all his artwork that he does. He does a load and load of tokens on. There's like 6 or 7 packs. He's also got a Cyberpunk pack. I'm obsessed with chibi artwork. I love it loads and loads, as you can see from the character out on the screen, which we'll get to in a moment. Go check out Coyote Grey. You can find him on Twitter at rberson. I'm going to put that in the chat right now. Berson. There you go. Go find him on... Go, Mick. Do stuff. There you go. Go find him on Twitter there. You can check out his stuff. If you watch our Tuesday stuff, he's done custom chibi tokens for those characters and the cover art for it. Super, super cool. Go check out Coyote Grey. Now, we got a new one. Not quite a sponsor, but I'm working on it. I'm going to keep bullying him. All the way from the land below. Australia. Down under. I know there's a saying. 2-minute tabletop. Is it 2-minute tabletop? Did I get that right? Have I got it wrong straight away? Go Google 2-minute tabletop and hopefully you'll find a little blue 2 like that. Next to a guy called Ross. Amazing, proper hand sketch maps. We'll be using them throughout this campaign. Again, not an official sponsor, but show them a lot of love. They're really good at what they do. And if we get millions of viewers, then they might sponsor us. Bit and Peach, beautiful, Tony. Greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Right, so a couple more. Sponsors that are not really they're sponsors of the channel, but not really on the show. Please check out Sawdust and Swear Words on Facebook. Just go to Facebook, check out Sawdust and Swear Words. Their woodworking skill is unbelievable. Check out all their photos. I guarantee you'll be knocking down his door to get some stuff. Roughworks Creative. Please go check out Roughworks Creative. If you like a bit of man flesh alongside your woodwork and leatherwork, and you can, just calm yourself for 5 minutes while you see some of the stuff he's created, go check out Roughworks Creative. Might be a personal thing there, by the way. I'm missing people. The artwork done as the tokens you can see. So my token was done by Lissy. I can't remember her Twitter, but we'll get it up in the thing. Lissy is an unbelievable artist. Go check her out on Twitter. We'll get the link for you. Super, super talented. The 6 character tokens that you see are done by Becky Appleyard Art, who is on Facebook. Again, we'll stick the links in the chat and on the extra stuff. Got DM'd, nice fun. Too hot in here. So please check out Becky Appleyard. She's super cool at what she does. Lissy Art, there you go. Thank you, Bardic. if you are interested in a 5th edition source material, we created something called Tasha's Heavier Crockpot of Bits and Bobs, which, following the link, is on DM's Guild. There's like 80 pages. There's 81 pages. There's 80 new spells in it. There is subclasses. There's artwork. Everything you lot need. It's like $10, $9.95. Go grab it. Why is Hannah in the waiting room? Why is Hannah in the waiting room?
She might be joining from her computer.
You need to leave off your phone, Hannah. Let me get rid of Hannah. How do I kick her out? Remove. I'm kicking. Ah, there she's gone. Have you just... All right, cool. It's fine. Everything is fine. That account no longer seems to exist. Just talking to her the other day. I'll have to have a look. Cool. So yeah, go check out Tasha's Heavier Crockpot of Bits. Tasha's Heavy Crockpot of Bits and Bobs. I'll just call it Heavy's Bobs, could you? So, bits. 200 bits. If you throw in 200 bits to the show, episode, channel, whatever, for the love of the players, and you want them to do really well and have re-rolls, thank you, Kestra. For every 200 bits they get donated, the party gets a re-roll. They are only allowed to have 5 at one time. Oh, yes, right. Do you feel sorry for the adventurers? ? Donate 200 bits / cheers to give the party a re-roll. Monkey face. They can't be used on the DM or death saving throws. They can only hold 5 at a time, and they don't roll over to the following week. Boom. They ended up with like 9 the other night. So,
we donate our own.
You can, but they don't work. Yeah, so you currently have 2 rerolls, players. You currently have... Tony, I hate you. You currently have 4 rerolls. Where have it started? Right. Is that everything? Anyone else got else they want to say? Oh, I'll tell you what. Right, let's go around these lovely folk. If you watch the Chronicles of Needham on a Sunday, you will recognise the Dungeon Master from Dice of the Beholder. Wow, brilliant. And you should also recognise Dice, also known as Amelia. So we're going to go around them. So we got Ree, who is playing. What are you playing, Ree?
I'm playing a fighter called Althea.
Boom.
Eddie? What more info do you want?
That's it.
I don't know what you're after.
That's all I need. Eddie, what are you playing?
I'm playing a bard called Velk Tumbleword.
Boom. Amelia?
I'm playing a cleric called Phase.
Tony?
I'm playing a sorcerer called Etheria.
Ricardo?
I'm playing a warlock called Bjorn.
And Hannah?
I am playing a dark fae called Rhea.
Beautiful. And my food just turned up. Amazing. So.
Right, you're going to have to wait till I get her sleep.
Okay, that's okay. My wife is shouting at me already. I don't like it. Right. Yeah. Right, so. Where's some scare?
6 rerolls according to the chat.
6 rerolls. Calm yourselves. Right, no more rerolls.
It's the first campaign. I think we should be allowed as many as we like.
We got a gifted sub from Kestra. Thank you very much, Kestra.
Aww.
Where's my music gone? Oh yeah, we use Sirenscape, right? It's really cool, but it's on the same mixer as the players. So if it's too loud, chat, please let me know, and I shall tell you. I shall try and turn it down. I don't know if this is going to come through, but we'll find out, won't we? This might be very loud. Let's turn you down. Chat, please let me know how loud that is. I'm not sure it'll come through, actually. Okay, it's coming through. It is coming through. Can you still hear me? I'm hoping you can still hear me. Sounds good, boss. Boom. Oh, such. By the way, this music is from Epidemic Sound, where they do a lot of like royalty-free and stuff music and sound effects. So, players won't be talking just yet, Big Grumpy Gamer. I'm going to do a monologue intro. That's what you've all come here for. This campaign, they're all starting at level 1, because why not? Is based in our homebrew world of Colossus. In particular, the continent of Atoria. The land of glorious stories. Myths and legends are born and raised here. The people of the land thrive. To be known in the name of the 12 Celestials is the greatest honour one could achieve. It's a good tune, I like it. Some say that the birth of the Bard was in Etoria. The first song, or at least the first song that would generate an arcane effect in the world. Maybe the players will find out all about this when they do their history builds, who knows? Stories of the deities, of the Celestials, beings of renown, heroes of war, politics, the games. Etoria is an empire ruled over by Empress Eliana. Her family, or so it is told, are the ones that are responsible for uniting the city-states long ago. A time of strength covers Etoria as they build their lives on the hope that the Celestials will let their souls pass into the fields of paradise. It is very common to see religious orders dedicated to the 12 Celestials and their entire lives being given over to the tenets of their chosen deities. On the western borders of Etoria there is a complete military zone. It is here that the greatest of stories and the greatest of dancers, going on the background music, are made, legends are born and taken every day. Some too young. Holding back the chaotic nature of the dream, the fair wilds, the forces of Brokenheart and Archfey to the west. The Fae and the Etorians are not fans. Who is with Fae? Who is? The Fae of old Western Etoria are not forgiving, and they constantly challenge the soldiers of Etoria. Hence, the military zone. Away from the constant battle and bloodshed, it's music, dance, joy in the eastern part of Etoria. You have the great seaports and the islands of gold. Well, that's what the locals call them. The royal merchant house of Etoria are scattered across the islands of gold and are incredibly wealthy, as Etoria is a gateway to the north and the south. The ports are legendary among the eastern seas, and the capital city of Tophis sits on a great island. The channels are constant and the traffic of trade is heavy. There is a massive navy, both merchant and military, owned by Etoria and her empress. It's put to good use, so they say, travelling north to the Towan Highlands, to the great dragonborn city of Karan, and to the Elven Vale dynasty in the far north. Those that choose to sail south take the trade routes to the many nations of the continent of Surut, the land of sand and silks. When one cannot get along with the life of a merchant or soldier and cares to make a name for themselves in the arenas, there is a mark of great interest in Etoria. Sorry, I'll re-say that. If they want to make a name for themselves, then the arenas are a mark of great import and interest in Etoria. My background music finished. Folk from far and wide come to see these gladiatorial fights. And those new to Etoria will see that there is a lot of humans, Goliaths, hefty amount of halflings, tieflings, and many other races that belong local to Etoria. Now, din din din, as we change the music, and we do a little short monologue before I say 3, 2, 1 time in. Sirenscape. Play. Dun, dun, dun. How loud are you? You're pretty loud. Big Grumpy Gamer, thank you for the gifted sub. 2 seconds. You're super loud. You're super loud. You'll be fine. You'll get over it. I'm being dramatic. Right, are we ready? Blue skies and pillowed clouds. There is a creature in the sky, a behemoth. Looks down with violet eyes upon the world of Colossus. Tundras and ice below. Cold vengeance. Moving south over the forests of the Fae, of the Raven folk. Hammer and faith. Now moving east, the great river below splitting magma and glacier. Feather and ink. Further east, heat, glorious heat, a dark forest. Darkness in the light. Over the mountains, radiant peaks stretch skyward, a chair of an arena. Blood and sand. Pausing, the sky their domain, taking in all horizons. The violet eyes focus. Gemstone and shadow. We shall see. the sky behemoth, stares down at the nation of Etoria. And it is here that we join our heroes in a mountain cave that would seem it was once the home to elven people. The 6 of you have all arrived in this cave in a variety of ways. But what you all see before you is a broken room, caved in, stones on the floor, one part of the eastern wall completely smashed in. The door back out to the blizzard on the mountainside does not look like a healthy choice. Beyond the room there is a stairway that leads down, ever so slightly. There's a breeze flowing up the stairs, and an even smaller breeze from the main door. To those of a cautious nature, the breeze sounds like it carries whispers. Checking the room, you can gather quickly that it looks to be a lookout room where they would put her out onto the mountainside. There are holes in the stone that lead to the outside. Grooves are in place where glass lenses may have been an aid to seeking further sights. What you all see before you, and I'll go around you individually, is I would like you to describe yourselves. Thank you very much, Cardiff Rogue, for the gifted sub, and more bits from Uli. So, I will go on my screen. What you all see before you is Althea Valinus. Please describe yourself.
Althea is quite athletically built. She's not very tall, but I should say like 5'5". But yeah, very athletic. You can see kind of defined muscles. She's wearing typical Etorian armor in the form of a chain shirt, and she carries with her shield and her longsword. She's got auburny hair and quite tanned skin, so she looks like an Etorian.
Edward, would you describe Valk Tumbleword, please?
Before you stands Nay, 2 inches above 3 foot, gnome-like in features, a small silvery grey-haired gnome of all things, looking quite smart, waistcoat kind of around this person, isn't wearing any sort of kind of armor or anything like that, but has a backpack on, little leather boots, carrying kind of pouches and things like that, and then around him is this kind of small floating ethereal book that's just kind of floating about his person with a quill dangling just above it that's both kind of an ethereal blue in colour.
Tony, will you please describe Etheria Rosa?
The fairy stands there, about 5 foot tall, a massive shock of pink crystalline hair, nearest thing you can describe. A pink dragonborn in a kimono with what appears to be 2 swords at the side, one longer than the other. Yeah, that's them at the moment.
Amelia, could you describe Faze Viola, please?
Absolutely. So, FaZe is quite a bit taller than the rest of the party so far, I think. She's 6 foot tall. She is on the one side, she is quite pretty, sort of human female features, but scraggly black hair. There's a police truck going past outside the house, great. Scraggly black hair, quite sort of raggedy clothes, like she hasn't really paid much attention to them, doesn't really care about them. She carries a warhammer that she's perfectly happy to hit people in the face with. She, despite that, she doesn't look unapproachable. She could be quite intimidating, but she's always happy to smile and greet people. The other side of her face is made of stone and metal with a streak of amethyst running through it. Most people would recognize it as a warforged. Down her face on one side, and you can see from under her clothes, one of her hands is like that too. You can assume it probably follows at least half of her body. And that is FaZe.
Rich, can you please describe Bjorn Vulcan?
Bjorn is human in features, about 6 foot tall, long dark hair, which at the moment is normally tied up, but at the moment is scraggly and soaking wet. It's kind of stuck to one side of his face. The sides of his head are shaved and covered in intricate dragon scale tattoos, which run down his neck, and you can see then extend onto his arms as well. He's there wearing heavily repaired and patched, distressed and travel-worn long cloak and dark studded leather armor, and carries nothing else upon him other than a very beautifully crafted and decorated battle axe, which is currently in his hands, and he is soaking wet, dripping on the floor.
Hannah, can you please describe Rhea?
Definitely didn't have chicken in my mouth. Yes. So Rhea is relatively tall, extremely slender, stands at about 5'10"-ish. Has these beautiful, intricate horns that curve backwards away from her face, and she has a mix of both skin and feathers, where you can't quite see where the flesh starts and like the feathers meet. It's a really odd one. But then she has this beautiful set of black and grey wings protruding from her back, and she's wearing basically almost like leftover like fish netting and stuff like that as a crude assortment of clothes, shall we say. Her hair is intermingled with feathers as well, but it is long and it is wild and it has plaits in it and bits of fishing line and beautiful, and her eyes are naturally quite a rich, bright red.
Lovely. So, yay! Lady in red. No. So, you are all in this broken, caved-in, elven-flavoured lookout post that's within this mountain. You all came in twos. So, Althea and... who are you with, Althea? Velk. Althea and Velk, you were stood by the main door that leads out... It's gravy time! That leads out onto the mountain path. Faze, Rhea, Bjorn and Etheria, you all arrived in balls of light and energy. Good night, eldest child. Come here, Gingy. Go on. Go on. What are you rubbing your nips for?
I'm not.
Yeah.
The first half an hour is generally interspersed with AD's children.
Hi, Eddie.
Alright.
That'd be good.
Hey, kid.
Right, 300 people watching you. Let's go.
No.
Sam, come on.
Bye, Eddie, stupid man.
Wow, you just lost all credibility. You were so close to being famous.
Live on TV.
You are so
Right, boys.
Your heart.
So,
Knows me.
AD, we also had a third with us, didn't we? I can't remember his name.
oh yes, you have. Oh, I can't remember his name either. Is it?
But it wasn't streamed, so you know you can call him whatever the heck you
Yeah,
like.
call him whatever.
Stephen. You want to say?
Okay, you can't call him Stephen.
Remy.
Remy.
His name's Remy.
Yeah. let me
We
write
have
that down.
we have a
Someone makes
third with
notes.
us as well. AD.
You do.
Tabitha.
You do have Tabitha. There is Eddie. Yeah.
How many people are in?
Why do they all know that?
Sailor.
Hi, Lucy.
Oh, you want to? We'll totally get round to D&D.
Hi, Lucy.
Hi, Lucy.
Hi.
Hey.
Say hi.
Hi.
Right, is it Eddie?
Eddie.
Say Ree.
Aww.
Tony. Good girl. Millie. Mill.
Sausage.
Sausage. All right, cool.
I'm by me.
Say Hannah. Hannah.
Hey, on it.
Say Hannah.
Ba.
Haba.
Hammer.
That'll do. Say Rich.
Rip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now say Nanite. Say no, no.
Night.
Say no,
I
no.
say roll for initiative.
Hot dog.
Roll for initiative.
Alright.
Yeah. Say nat
We
20.
get it. Lucy, we get it. We get it. Alright, we get the hot dog. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye, sausage Eddie.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye,
Bye-bye.
sausage Eddie. Go on your doddy.
It's great calling them out by walls.
Yeah, where's
You're
the
a sausage
third?
Eddie.
Where's the
I'm
third
just
kid,
sausage. So
Get the
Right.
third kid to come and insult Eddie before we start playing D&D.
Don't worry, he's in love with him.
Aw.
So you have Tabitha with you, and you have Remy. I had Jimmy in my head, but it was close. You know what I mean?
And me. I've written it down now. With no context, so we'll see how that goes.
So what are you doing? You're all in the room. 3, 2, 1, go. Remy steps behind you two. Remy, for those that don't know what Remy looks like, Remy is a typical, a bit skittish. Clearly, is using even Velk and the mighty warrior Althea, standing behind them, looking a bit. These are my human shields. Covered, got
Waist
books,
tight, yeah.
books and alchemical bandoliers on him, and his robe is too big for him. It don't fit him. Even if it were tailored, you can imagine it'd be a bit off on him. Tabitha is a very confident looking, doesn't seem to be batting an eyelid that there's many people here or that they've travelled arcanely. She is not necessarily stoic, she looks quite cheerful. The difference that Bjorn and Ethereal notice is when you arrived through this portal of whatever it was, she's there with 2 short swords on her back, not the weaponry you saw with her before. She just nods, she cares not. She's kind of looking at Etheria and Bjorn and looking around the place.
I look up at Althea and I'm like, the would-be hero pauses, looking around the room. Are they a threat? Should she engage? Are they friends? Should she welcome them with open arms?
Sorry.
Yeah,
What?
so I come with a backing track. I'm going to turn to Velk and say, this was either a mistake for us to arrive here, or that old man sent us here on purpose, and he's, for some reason, tricked us.
Thought indeed, but in she goes nonetheless. I gesture inside more.
20 levels of this.
We were in a room with a Rhea?
We were rescuing a kidnapped boy, and I don't know, he started to glow, and now we're here. Her eyes, Rhea's eyes also turn like yellow, and it doesn't make sense, but she's quite obviously confused.
Aw.
Oh, you won't believe it. I don't even want to. Hang on.
That perception.
I'm not
is-
even touching my dice, but that's a nat 20. There. You
That's
can't
cool.
see it, but-
You're gonna love what you spot.
It's literally like a wall.
6. Velk.
18.
18. Velk.
14.
14. Rare.
9.
9. Bjorn.
16.
Cool. 15 and above. Yeah. You all notice, those that are 15 above, you notice that every one of you has a small silver chain around the neck with a small garnet gemstone that is identical to the other. Anyone under 15, other than the one you're wearing yourself, you don't notice.
These, you're all wearing them. These were given to us by that old man. How did you get yours?
One's pointed out, you see.
We didn't. We weren't wearing this 10 minutes ago.
The boy was wearing them.
There was a boy on a bed. He was chained to the bed, and he was wearing. He was holding these.
He
in
was
his
wearing nothing. Like what?
He was a child.
Okay.
I don't know.
This is I used mine to get in here. Like just out there by the door, there was a little groove in the shape of this stone, and I pressed the stone in, and that's how we got in.
Sorry, just for clarity, those on above 15, Remy and Tabitha don't have them. Just so you know.
We weren't supposed to be going anywhere.
We're literally told, go rescue boy. boy teleported here. Well, teleported us here, apparently. I don't know how that works.
We were meant to be going on a holiday.
But boy's probably dead now, so it's not a problem.
Sure.
I'm gonna look at Etheria and not ignore, but kind of turn away from the rest of the room. I don't know what we have walked in on here, but I am still feeling slightly under the weather, shall we say. I'm going to sit down and have a bit of a rest. Perhaps you could do the talking for us.
Sure.
You
And
plan
I'm
on
gonna
plan on a short rest, are we, Bjorn?
I'm gonna flop down on the nearest piece of ground. Beyond does not look the healthiest. He's a
Bjorn
little
looks like he's
pale.
gone toe to toe with the dragon turtle, so the stories say.
He looks like he's drowned recently. He looks like he's actually drowned recently, and just kind of curls up on the floor, holding his axe tightly to him like a teddy bear.
I'm going to turn to Etheria and say, "Is your friend okay?"
Etheria doesn't look like great herself. They look like they have been battered, but they maybe it was close.
What circumstance brought you here?
I'm gonna send a psychic message to Tabitha and say, "What's going on?"
Can she reply?
I don't think she can to that.
Then she'll look around, look straight at you. I was hoping you'd tell me.
Who are you guys?
Guys, hi.
I walk straight forward and hold out my hand. Felk Tumbleweed, pleasure to meet you.
Etheria and Bjorn.
If you don't shake it, I just hold it out. Like, to the point where it's really awkward. I'm smiling.
Please shake this hand.
I would like to sneak round and just shake Felk's hand.
When you say sneak,
Pleasure to meet you too.
Just literally go.
Etheria just looks at his hand very awkwardly, like, what?
You know,
I forgot what the question was. But I'm Etheria, that's Bjorn, and that's Tabitha.
I'm Althea, and I'll do a really showy bow.
Would be a hero nonetheless. Important details.
I'm Remy. Just kind of waves and then hides back behind Althea.
Quietly.
hi Remy.
Oh wow! It was only a session 0 ago. You were dead nice to that kid.
Aww.
I nudge FaZe as she says hi Remy. I'm like, I think he likes Althea, and then shuffle back.
He's not wearing one of these pendants. I do not trust him or his master anymore.
Where are we?
Mountain.
Here.
I'm at a mountain?
Well,
10 seconds ago, we were in the ocean.
If I didn't say it already, Tabitha's very obviously elven. And she looks around.
Dude.
Somewhere elven.
Yeah.
Can I see a door?
The one you came through, and then the only other door out of here is more of an archway of the stairs that lead down. They're not a steep gradient, it's like a sloping where instead of people sliding down a chute, they've just placed stone slabs in the way to give it a stairs.
Can I beckon FaZe over to the grooves that we put the necklace in to open the door?
If you want.
And just to show her, this is how, I don't know how you guys arrived, but we arrived outside and came in here, and this is how we opened the door with these necklaces.
What sort of holiday were you aiming for?
Not a cold one. We could have walked it. It would have been safer. It would have taken a couple of days, but...
I
you
gotta
say
say, this is shit.
Did you say we were on the mountain? It is cold?
Althea,
What?
as Bjorn says that, and Rhea, because you're both Victorian locals, please give me a nature roll. 10.
I love it when Hannah rolls on Beyond, because I can see them.
That's a 4.
Right. Yeah, you're
I
on
have to
a,
find my non-cursed dice.
you
Hold
are on a cold mountain.
For those of you who traveled here on foot, is it? Are we still in Netoria? How do you know how far away we are from Matrito?
We didn't travel here on foot. We just arrived outside of this building. We had to make our way here to get shelter from the weather. We still arrived of an arcane way, I think, just like 100 foot that way.
Rhea is just gonna like flap her wings and just straight up in the air, 30 feet, and get a look at the surroundings.
Are you going outside?
Yes, please.
So,
Up into the roof.
as you go out the open door, there is almost a change of environment. Like, it's not like there's a blizzard right in front of you, and you can see it. It's not roaring. You can see the blizzard as if you're looking through a closed window. So as you step over that crest, that portal, that line where it becomes the outside, you are assailed by a blizzard. Give me a fortitude saving throw, please. Not fortitude, constitution. Play too many games.
Oh, what?
I've got a few systems going on, right? Are we on the dice now, are we?
Okay, we're on the dice because I'm not anymore. Because the dice have just given me an 18 and then a +1, so that's a 19, please.
Cool. You don't get blown off the edge of the mountain.
Great.
And you don't take any cold damage from the blizzard that is assailing you. You are smart enough to know that if you try to fly, it ain't going to go well for you.
Fair enough. Okay. She's just gonna turn around and walk back and go, I don't know. I'm out of guesses. I was gonna fly up and see where we are, but I'm going to die.
Now that you've been outside, you have a bit of a moment, Rhea, of your spending time, you know, with your clan and such. You don't ever remember in any of the histories there being snow-capped mountains in Etoria.
Percent, but also, yeah, I was gonna fly up and see where we are because this doesn't seem like Etoria, because this is mountains and snow.
There are mountains, just no snow.
But this is like a lot of snow.
Yeah,
There
I've
has never been snow.
It doesn't snow in Etoria.
Bjorn, I don't think we're near Matrido anymore.
Don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
Does not appear so, no. Perhaps we have been transported to the glaciers and the icy wastes we saw to the south while we were traveling.
The unlikely group finds themselves far from home, but should perhaps look around for clues.
Or perhaps we are even closer to my home, where I grew up.
I'm just going to start investigating the room, see if I can find anything.
Roll me an investigation check. It's all coming together, kids.
Feria just awkwardly giggles at this person.
18.
18? Bong bong. Eddie won't believe me, but I actually wrote down what you'd find if you rolled high. First time in 15 years.
You want any food?
Yes, please. Du-du-du-du. Towards where the first cave-in, when you first came in and you saw the cave-in on your right-hand side, you find a skeletal hand, maybe a thigh bone. There's quite a long bone next to it, and a broken bit of a skull with some teeth and like one eye socket, just kind of smashed under the under where the cave-in has been. There's a strange what's the word? There's a strange makeup of the bones and their thickness and length and such that is both familiar and not. Give me a medicine check, Mr. Velk.
12.
12? The skeleton appears elven in the way the skull is shaped. You are a bard of knowledge rather than, tavern dwelling. But But yeah, it does appear that it kind of fits some of the pictures you've seen as of elven skulls in your studies. However, the rest of the skeleton doesn't match what you'd expect. The bones are a bit thicker, a bit stronger looking.
As I see it, I'm like, the unlikely gathering of people's attention is somewhat drawn to a strange-looking skeleton in the corner of the room. Elven head, strange torso. They question, they ponder.
I don't even look at the skeleton, I just stare at Vel.
As does Tabitha.
Are you always... Wrong accent, wrong campaign.
We're not playing Monopoly now, Amelia.
Sorry. So, are you always like this, Bulk?
Yes. Yes, he is.
Just look blankly. Like,
I don't know what you mean.
I'll be honest, I sort of love it. Let me look at this skeleton.
Freya kind of just looks over at Face. It's like, he's annoying. What are you on about?
No, it's adorable.
I'm just gonna look at Maya and go.
So
And
now we've discovered who's with who in the party when it splits. You go over and he shows you the skeleton. You see, and when he points out, if you can take from what he's just said, the elven features, you do again automatically you come to that same conclusion of the rest of the skeleton doesn't match. Even the skull itself, even though it's only a broken part of it, and you only get like one side of it with a few teeth in the eye socket, there is a thickness to it that just. They say the skeleton itself seems to be a bit sturdier than what you're used to in your academic ways. There's no reason, heavier set elves aren't out there, but in your two's current knowledge, they're usually a bit more aerodynamic.
Could I try and work out how old the skeleton is?
Yeah, give me a medicine check.
I was gonna ask that exact thing.
Who can help her?
Is he?
Hell yeah, bitch.
So if you want to give Faze advantage, or do you want to both roll?
Advantage.
You got advantage.
My
Faze.
rolls have not been very good today.
And my second roll was worse. 17.
17. Maybe 250-ish, and that's literally just rounded up ballpark. You don't need more time. Take it off the mountain. Use some of the alchemical solutions that we may be back in Ravenholm.
Based on what I know of elves, would I know that a normal elf lifespan was far beyond that? This isn't...
It's common knowledge that elves are long-lived creatures. How long you don't know, but it may claim to be very long-lived.
I thought perhaps it could be a very old skeleton or sort of an older version of elves, but it's only 250-ish, around there.
Only? That's not old?
Not for an elf.
I don't know many elves.
There's one.
I didn't know that one, yeah.
Tabitha just waves. Hi.
I don't know you either, but hello, nice to meet you.
And then she just carries on looking about the place.
Am I still sucking wet through?
Yep.
I said to Tabitha and Tabitha, can you do your
You want me to do the P magic?
Yeah, please.
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation.
Anyone else? Just kind of looks around at you all.
Beyond, probably.
That one on the floor.
I can't do anything about
I don't
Beyond.
want to catch my death of cold, but obviously if it would put you out,
Are you
Tabitha.
from the north?
Yes, but we don't normally spend our days in the cold while also soaking wet.
Not all stories are true then. And she just goes around those needing the P word magic.
as she's doing it, I'll assist using the P word as well. And I'll be like, magical elf. Its magic seems to work quicker. And I just start helping out, like warming up the clothes and stuff.
There is no arcane effect that you can see that radiates or sources from Tabitha while she's casting this magic. It's literally as if she's walking past, waving her hand, and the spell takes effect.
A magical elf indeed. And I just keep going on.
Thank you, Tabitha, and thank you, Belk.
Comes with a question. Thank you. You know, I could really use just a bit of a rest. I'm actually bleeding from my more mortally bits. And I'm going to sit down on the floor next to Bjorn.
Freya also sits because the only person that she truly knows here is Faze. So.
Did you say, AD, there was some stairs leading down?
Yep.
Could I go and just have a look at that? I don't want to go down them, but I'm going to like peer and have a listen and see if I can see anything down there. Just standing at the top.
Do you have dark vision?
I do. I don't know why, as my character, but I can see very well in the dark.
You should know, as you race.
My character, if you will remember my backstory.
So, as you go to the top and you look down, it doesn't spiral or anything, and it just seems to be slowly following this natural downward of this mountain you're on, deeper in. But the stairs they're not high steps, they're only maybe a couple of centimetres of these steps, probably put there to stop people just slipping. And they go for easy 60 foot before you'd have to walk down. If you walk down maybe 10, 15 foot, it carries on. You've got to guess it's over 80, 90 feet still, and you don't see the end of those stairs. But you don't see any other like doorway or anything on the way. You look back, you see the lookout room, as it were. But these steps lead deeper into the mountain and clearly led up to the lookout room that you lot are currently in.
I'll sit on the top step and then just say, sort of, without turning around, these stairs go down quite far. I don't know, are we having a sit down? I don't fancy going back outside.
As everybody's sitting down, I'm like, without a care in the world to what perils they might be in, the party opts to rest.
Shut up.
Tabitha,
Freya then just kind of nuzzles back in and just tries to get a little bit of sleep.
Tabitha nods at Velk, nods and smiles at Rhea, and then from her small pack on her hip, she pulls a large candle. It's got many different colours and shades of red, and it kind of just swirl up and mix like when you just smudge an oil painting. But imagine all the colours with shades of red. She puts the candle in the middle of you, lights it. Breathe deep, it'll heal your wounds. And she just starts fanning the candle so it lights, and a red flame. It's the only one I've got, so take advantage of it.
Sniff the candle.
Cool. All those that deliberately inhale the smoke are fully healed to their maximum HP.
Hey!
Have any effect on me, AD?
What is your current state, to be on?
I am at full health. However, my constitution could be higher.
Yes, it could. I love this
What
game.
happened to you?
Welcome to Session 0 in Colossus.
Did you say that out loud?
Yeah.
As I don't see Bjorn kind of breathing and getting any better like people around him, just what happened to you?
I was visited in my dreams by an angry ghost or spirit of the sea, and I am much weaker than I normally would be.
That sounds awful.
So you're saying you're weak?
I'm sorry.
Just weaker.
Weaker?
You
I
said
was-
weaker than you normally are, so you're claiming to be weak and now you're just weaker. And no, it won't affect your physicality. You'll need to rest for a long time. And she smiles.
Thank
a
you,
little better than it was.
Tabitha. We've very much enjoyed our travels together so far, and every conversation we have had.
Yeah, there could have been less. And she just kind of walks over to where the elven skeleton is.
Can I mutter to Bjorn? She seems cheerful.
Just gonna turn to Velk, look at him like, this bitch!
I also I smile weakly at FaZe and also turn to Velk. You may want to be careful with your words. Apparently speaking too much tends to get on her bad side. She does not like more than a courteous hello. And perhaps, how are you? But if you start to talk about the weather or anything else, then obviously you've become her nemesis. Or how she talks to you, anyway. She will, however, find your friend, and I point to Etheria, or at least the travelling companion you are closer to, and have bitchy, snide conversations, and give lots of side glances to them when she thinks you are not looking. And I'm just gonna try and just lean back again.
You just
Close
said,
my eyes.
you just said, Tabitha looks at Velk. I knew he was listening. And then carries on examining the skeleton.
Yeah, the dishevelled Iconian seems like quite the observant man. And just keep looking around the room for who's next.
I was just sat there like that.
I quite like her too.
Remy joins Tabitha at the skeleton. What are you saying, Etheria?
Etheria just sat, just cleaning the sword, just listening to everybody and giggling every now and then.
What does the sword look like?
So the sword is quite a long-bladed katana, basically. It's got some fanciness down by the crossguard, the hilt and everything. But otherwise, just a plain, very serviceable katana.
Althea, you'd have seen such a blade before. Some of them will attempt to use them in the arena because it is a sword that is not common in Atoria. Velk, probably only in storybooks. Faze and Rhea, Bjorn, other than Etheria, you've never seen such a design of a weapon. They're not common in the cold lands of the north.
That's quite a sword you have there, Etheria.
Yes, it is mine, I guess. It was given to me by my clan. I hope to be worthy of it one day.
It's a strange chosen weapon for these parts. You're not, I say, local. I'm from Atoria. God knows where we are now, but whereabouts are you from?
Originally from Karan, then sent to the Vey dynasty to study.
Just gonna nod like I know where those places are, because Althea definitely doesn't. Sounds exotic.
I don't know about exotic. It's a nice place. It's very beautiful, and I've been learning a lot whilst I've been there. And yeah, I've come out traveling beyond here.
Does it have arenas, gladiatorial arenas, fighting pits, etc.?
Mr. DM.
Sorry, thank you for the follow, Goffanon and Jesus.
Please try.
The two most recent people that have followed.
Ook or Gavin. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Thank you, new followers.
Yes, there are arenas of sorts in Vey. In Quran, there are arenas very, very similar to Atoria's, but the big difference is Atoria entertains. People die in the arenas, but there is a big entertainment vibe around the arena fights. It's all about showmanship. I'm still working on that one. It's grand. There is, come and see us. It's celebrated. It's almost celebrity athlete status. Quran, you fight to the death. If there ain't blood, you both die. It's a very brutal interpretation of the arenas. Whereas the closest thing you've got in Vey is an arranged duel rather than a mass arena. So there would be people watching, but it's not like walls and seats and popcorn and stuff.
I explain that, although I'm not as familiar with the ones in Koran, as I left I left my birth home when I was very young.
They sound different to the arenas that I would be used to, but I should hope to visit one day.
It's not something I've looked at too much. I don't fight for entertainment.
What else is there to fight for?
A cause. The clan, family. Your life.
Remy just turns. Very, very valid points.
Thank
And
you.
then
Perspectives.
You shush.
just kind of cowers down and looks back to.
As interesting as all this is, and it absolutely is, perhaps we should go down the stairs and see if we can work out anything else about where we are.
Yeah, if everyone's feeling up to it, I assume people were still sitting down. Althea is also sitting down.
We could. Bjorn, do you need carrying?
Not to need carrying, but if you think that apparently 10 minutes is enough of a short rest for the rest of you, I suppose I will come with you also.
Has Bjorn healed at all, sort of health-wise?
Give me a medicine check.
Yeah. I just looked completely blankly at you, like, what's a medicine check? I
got that. You were like, yeah, all right, not bad. All right.
D&D every week. 3 years. 21.
21.
Yeah.
You have a quick look at Bjorn. Like, obviously, everyone sat down. He clearly looked wounded. But having a look at him, there's no blood saturation. Not that there would be, because everyone went around and did pee magic. But yeah, there's no wounds on him. He looks gaunt, and it's in a unnatural way. Like, he looks really ill, like he's been ill for a long time physically, and it's taken a toll on him in his cheeks. And he at first glance, before you actually inspected him, he looks, in a prime. You know what I mean? He comes from Viconia. It's clearly, with the way he speaks about the cold and stuff, his accent. You have people from Viconia coming down into Ravenholm, so you're aware that the Viconians, regardless of actual size, are pretty heavy in a constitutional manner. Bjorn looks gaunt, like he's afflicted.
I think whatever has happened to you, my friend, resting for longer isn't going to help.
Is this not how he normally is? Is he normally different than this?
It was a hard voyage.
That's the understatement, looking at Bjorn over here.
I think I will be fine in a couple of days.
I hope so.
Perhaps a week, but I am definitely not going to get any better here. So if it is decided that we will try and discover where we are by walking down these steps, I am game to follow.
Maybe just stay towards the back, Try not to get hit in the face by anything, if there's anything here.
If Iconian does not stay at the back.
Sure.
Equally, are you going to be moving quick enough for the rest of us?
I will keep up.
I can walk
Okay.
at the very back and make sure that it doesn't lag behind or get stolen or something.
I am not an invalid.
Yes, you are.
I'm trying to be nice. I've never seen people much before. I'm trying to be polite.
Thank you.
Rhea's way of greeting me was to ask if all my friends were dead, so this is vast improvement. You're doing very well, Rhea.
Trying to learn. It's hard.
I'm going to stand and walk towards the stairs.
It's a half elf, says Tabitha, as she just hears you say about the stairs and kind of just steps away from it. Remy looks at Althea and just nods to confirm what Tabitha's just announced into the room.
The skeleton?
Yep.
That change their lifespan at all? And I'll look at Faze. You said that 250 wasn't old for an elf, but for a half elf? Is that altering information?
Well, no, I mean, the skeleton is here from 250 years ago. So I meant it wasn't that old in terms of
Oh,
elven
I see.
lifespan, not in terms of the person who died.
Also
Sorry.
depends what the other half is.
That's what I was going to ask.
Then you would be correct, Altheria.
Do we have a clue, or is it something to tell?
I don't think it's giant-blooded Goliath or anything, but maybe a human or a dwarf, maybe. There's not a lot of the skeleton left.
Is it actually in the wall?
No, it's as if the walls crushed it.
Right.
So if you moved all the rocks, you might find a lot of bone powder, but the bits that survive the cave-in is like a leg bone, half the skull, and a hand.
Right.
I'm gonna gesture for Remy to kind of like get over it, kind of thing, and step a couple of steps down the stairs.
You step down?
I'll go with.
You all go. Width-wise, you could probably get down here, depending on the size of you, 1.5, maybe 2. You know, it's about 7 feet wide. So you smaller folk, not that many of you are small, but
I'll walk
Velk
behind
down there.
Althea.
Why is it that when you said 1.5, I thought, well, no one's going to cut themselves in half to
Because
be able to
you're
walk
rear.
downstairs.
Your method, Hannah. That's what it's there. Just pulls out a chainsaw. I had an half brother and half sister till Mum took saw off us. So, you start pouring down. Ting, 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 ting. As your feet touch the stone. Sound effects. Sponsored by me. You get about 100 feet down these stairs, and it gets colder and colder, and it is wet cold. Like, just, you can feel the cold radiating from the wall itself. Like, but you don't even have to touch the stone, you can feel the cold. Those of you that can see in the dark, the actual shape of the walls is really, really curvy. Like, it's not the jagged stone that you'd expect. A lot of water has come through either side of the wall and probably goes under the stairs. But remember, it's just slabs of stone in the natural formation of the thing. So there must be water running somewhere. Not in any great deal, but if you were to Google water caves, it's that curvy stonework rather than the jagged stone. And it is slick, moist, wet. There's green algae on some of the walls. Those of you that can't see in the dark, it ain't pitch black. You just have to watch your step.
I was gonna say, sorry, as we walk down.
Yep.
If anybody has trouble seeing in the light, seeing in the dark, and I hold up the axe above my head and cast the light cantrip.
Remy looks visibly relieved. And you can see he's tightly clinging to a yellow potion bottle on his bandolier when you light, and then he just relaxes his grip on it. You go down the stairs, din, 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 din. You get about 100 foot down there. You can now see that there is nothing in this immediate, there is a almost like common room in front of you with several tunnels that go off from it, maybe 5 tunnels from what you can see, just in various directions further into the mountain. Some go high, some go low, some look to go straight on. The common room itself, the architecture, if there's such a thing, is all natural. Whoever used this place, however it was, that's how they've used it. They haven't dug any further, they haven't carved anything out. There's no symbology like stonework or anything. This is not, a ye olde underground fortress or anything. It is somebody taking advantage of the natural caverns and tunnels of this particular mountain, wherever it may be in the world. Yeah, so there's a bit of a common room in front of you. There is some very old broken wood, damp. Some of it looks, if you just walk past it, it looks very much like, is it flotsam you call it? And there's like a shipwreck and you just get the bits of wood floating around. Small puddles everywhere. You can imagine whoever did stay here would be constantly under attack from the wetness of the place. Sniffles and flu galore. But it does look like this was a common room of sorts where they may have had a bit of bite to eat or anything. Doesn't look anything official. But there are 5-ish. Maybe more, but you can't really see them, or they might have caved in when you go near them. It gets dark real quick, like 20 feet in, you just assume they're blocked. But you do have a choice of 5. Or do what you so wish in the common room.
Look around the common room to see if there are any But if there's any evidence,
Are you investigating or are you just having a quick
Yeah.
look? Cool, give me an
Investigating.
investigation roll. Is anybody helping him?
I'll stick by Bjorn. Yeah.
Cool.
I'll
You
give-
have it
I'll
at
give a hand.
advantage.
okay. That is going to be investigation. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Give me a second. So, you look about the place, having a good old root around, move some of the wood around. That's what I wanted. Yeah, cool. As you're pointing around, moving some of the bits of wood, and some of it just disintegrates in your hand as you touch it. Being from Viconia and being more used to like ice and snow sort of cold, and there's usually wherever there's water, the edges of it, wherever it meets, earth, is usually frozen. There is no threat of this water freezing. It is very, very cold to touch, but it doesn't feel like it'd freeze in this temperature. Moving around, you managed to find 4 silver coins that, looking at them, seem to have a like a ram's head on the on one side, and it's worn off on the other side. You're not really sure. You've seen there are coins people travel all over the world. There are coins that share like the rulers' heads and stuff of certain lands, but a gold is a gold, a silver is a silver. You find a single gold coin and a platinum coin. Now the platinum coin is very different to any other currency you've seen. It is immaculate. It has the reefs and the front of a almost Senate temple with the triangle, what do you call it, keystone, is it? The front bit at the top, and then the pillars down and a reef around it on the front side. And then on the flip side, you have what is attempted to be a very striking woman with a tiger pelt going through her hair and down. Her hair kind of mingles in, is plaited with a tiger pelt, and then it hangs around her shoulders like a shawl. If you show this to Althea, you can confirm that it is Eliana, the Empress of Etoria.
Take it back over and inquire whether anyone else is just show it around.
Oh yeah, that's the Empress of Etoria. It's a Etorian currency.
Have an empress?
Yes, rare. Which part of Etoria are you from?
Forest bit. Home.
Explains a lot, that does.
That's all I ever knew until I then left. Then it got scary, and now I'm here, and I don't like it.
The currency, the coins themselves are old, beyond. As you pick them up, you can tell they're like dinted and, like bitten and chinked where they've been in people's purses and such. Except the platinum one, there's a lot of effort gone into it to make it look pristine, as if prideful in its making.
I pat Rhea. Okay, it's fine.
Seems that we are not the first visitors from afar to this strange place.
That or
We are still in
Etorian,
Etoria.
or Etorian trade. Like you say, it might be visitors.
Well, I have promised at least one of these coins to someone. And if you don't mind, I will pocket it.
Who could you have promised a platinum coin to? I
Not
don't
the-
care about
not-
you pocketing it, but
Not the platinum, but a promise made that I must keep. But that is a story for another time, perhaps in the warmer climes around the happy campfire.
fair enough.
I'm fine with you keeping a coin.
I'm going to pocket all of the coins.
Do you mind if I just keep everything?
just going to nudge Etheria as well. I made back what the pirate took.
That's good.
When was there a pirate?
We had a
Yes.
long and arduous journey to get here. There were pirates and dragon turtles and ghosts.
What's a dragon turtle?
It's a really
well-
big turtle.
It's a turtle that thinks it's a dragon.
I'm just imagining Belk's face hearing about
Just take it in. I'm just smiling. Like,
Velk's
staring at
done. Velk's completed. Character goals
Scribbling,
completed.
like-
It is the size of an island and moves through the water. You do not know it is dangerous until it is upon you, and it creates a giant whirlpool beneath your ship. And if you do not pay whatever toll or treasure it wishes, it drags your ship to the bottom of the ocean and kills all aboard.
as I'm like smiling up, the quill on my little ethereal book's just like flying around the page,
The
writing stuff
smoke
down.
coming
Yeah.
They're
And-
very greedy and very arrogant, and they think they're more than they are. That was not pleasant.
So you had what they wanted.
No,
No.
that was the problem.
Because the pirates had taken it previously.
Yeah,
But you're alive.
Well, I had drowned, which is obviously, and he
But-
just waves at all of this.
You're all dry now because of the pea magic, just so you know. But yeah.
Yeah, but I still look
He's
like
still a
crap.
bedraggled.
Pea
Yeah.
magic.
You look like shit, but
His claws are immaculate, but he looks like crap.
Every time you call it the P magic, I just think of someone weighing on someone. It's
Yeah.
causing me
Same.
problems.
And that's
Any-
why I refuse
Any
to change it,
viewers,
so.
any viewers watching, they do mean the prestidigitation cantrip. That is
that
P
one.
magic. Yeah.
Look, I'm professional, alright?
We weren't all stung by jelly.
we're gonna have to add that as like a timer thing.
Well, you say that,
now
roll
every
initiative.
Okay,
Double the
so
time.
you drowned
yeah.
because
Yes.
it's supposed to kill you, but you're not dead.
How do you know?
And so we
Sorry, we're
come.
not dead.
And so we
With
come
that, I'm
to.
going to go to a door.
And so we come to the deal I made, where I must take a silver coin to the temple.
1 to 5, Althea. Well, he's
Sounds like a
chimogging.
lot of effort. Just die.
Rule number 4.
Freya, people tend not to want to die. It's not, from experience, a pleasant thing to do.
You're not dead.
Give me a perception
That's
check,
true.
Althea, while they play their own game.
Yeah, I'm just like.
We've split the party in roleplay.
Freya is just stood there, like so fucking confused. Like, how are you all not dead? Like, this is what happens. When things go wrong, you usually die, and then like life just carries on, just without you. And she just cannot fathom how you're not all dead.
13 on the perception.
Cool. Whilst that happens, Althea, there's not doors, it's just extra tunnel archways that go through. Looking down the fourth one, so it'd be, as you look at them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you go over to the fourth-ish tunnel. As you look down it kind of bends to your left. I had to turn my book upside down. It bends down to your left. You do a quick shuffle over to number 5, and it bends down to the right. And you reckon they meet. And then there is a tunnel that goes further down. At the end of your sight, you go blind. At the end of your 60 feet, about 50 feet, where you just see the two tunnels merge together, you see a thick chain just kind of dangling on the wall, bolted in or hanging off somewhere, but you see a chain just kind of hanging loose. This chain it looks thick from this 50 feet where it looks thick. You can see it well enough that you can see the links. So it's not a small chain.
Not ominous at all. I'm gonna gesture everyone over, like as nice as just getting to know each other lark is. There's some tunnels here. I don't know if you can all see that, but there is a chain hanging from the wall down there, and I think these two tunnels, like gesturing to the end, to meet somewhere, looking at the shape that I can see down them. I don't know what the other three are like.
I'll have a quick glance at the other three, see if anything catches my attention.
1, 2, or 3.
1.
So as you go over to 1, it's stepped, as in when you look into it, it goes up. So there's a little short hallway. Again, this is all natural. It goes up like large steps. Like you'd have to climb onto one step, then turn, climb onto another step, then like it kind of just it's real small but big enough for you to stand on ledges that go up.
This one has upwards ledges.
Again, natural, but you can see up above, right at the top, 60, 70 feet away, a light. Just an orb of light, like maybe if there was a hole and there was a light behind it, like just shining through.
And maybe light at the top.
Etheria, what does the second tunnel look like?
Do you go over Etheria?
Yeah, I'll go look. I have 120 feet of dark vision.
Nice.
You see the dragon. So
I see through the walls.
yeah. You see some dude in red with black eyes and two berets. You looking at your 120 feet. This kind of it's like a water slide. It kind of just does this, like snakes towards you. Well away from you, sorry. It's coming right for me. And you can see that there is a slickness on it where water probably did use this as some sort of chute away from this common room. Near the walls where you are, and you kind of look about the place. And a quick glance, you can see that maybe as tall as you are in the common in this what they used as a common room. You can see that there is a definite presence of where the water would have been higher, almost as if this room used to fill. And then it was this chute, it seems, that the majority of it would flow away from.
It looks like a chute as far as I can see. Are we sure we're on a mountain?
No.
Down the plug hole, is what you're telling us.
Yeah, yeah. Plug hole.
And the third tunnel? Is there a third one?
There is a third one. At the end of the third tunnel, maybe 40 feet into it, whoever looks, there is a wooden chest. Maybe 2 foot across and about a foot high. It looks, the wood around it looks just as wet and soft as the bits of wood that are just kind of hanging about in the common room. It's about, like I say, it's not far from looking in. And behind it there's a opening where probably 2 or 3 of you could stand if you were really crunched together, but it doesn't seem to go any further.
I'll go down with the light of the axe to investigate the chest.
Cool.
Chest at the end of a short corridor. That sounds like a trap.
Stick my head around and watch beyond.
Yeah, we had a good run.
Watch this play out.
I'm like, boldly, the dishevelled Phyconian strides.
I can try and open it from a distance.
No, let him go. This is going to be great.
No, this is much more entertaining.
Bjorn, as you approach the chest, you see before you 2 foot wide, maybe a foot high, maybe a foot and a half back.
Just 2 feet. Just 2 feet.
Just 2 feet
You
sticking
see
out the
2
chest.
feet. If you pick it up, there's a dead gnome. It doesn't seem to be intricate in any way. There's no giant lock on it or anything. The latch that goes over the hoop where the padlock would be just kind of hangs at a slight angle next to it rather than on it. You're pretty sure if you wanted to, you could just flip the lid. But the wood itself looks just like I say, looks like if you just, you won't be able to rest on it. It doesn't appear. You think you'd just crush it if you leant on it. It doesn't look to be in a good state.
I will open the chest.
With your hand?
I'm going to flick it open with the axe.
Level 1, I've got to treat you lot like noobs, you know what I mean?
No, I'm going to flick it open with the axe.
Cool. As you catch the, just getting between the groove where the lid meets the body of the chest, and you just start to lift, the bit you're lifting just kind of comes away and you kind of half slip as there's no longer pressure against the axe. You just take a chunk of wet mud out and the lid of the chest just kind of half caves in on itself. And you can see in the chest itself, whatever's in there is mulch and mouldy. From where you're looking now, you'd have to obviously move the broken lid away. But whatever's in there, there's some material, but anything else you'd have to get stuck in.
I'll investigate while the rest of them
Oh, give me an investigation check. While he's doing his investigation check, Remy goes over to you, Althea. Is the Viconian okay?
He says he's had a run-in with some not nice creatures that Faye's mentioned seems to have damaged him not in a physical way. Physically, he seems fine, but it appears whatever ails him can only be healed if he were to sleep, get rest for quite a while. Hopefully, he'll feel better tomorrow if we get a chance to rest. Unless there's anything you can do.
Remy,
She just gestures at the bottles around.
Remy walks over to Faze. Are you a healer?
To an extent, yes.
This might help. And he gives you a black liquid in a bottle. Looks like ink. It's really, really watery. It'll taste horrible, but he'll feel like he slept for a day.
Oh. Head me on. And I'll wander off down the corridor.
Remy just goes, you could save it for yourself. No? Okay. And then walks back over to Althea.
Where did you get that? Sorry.
Why would I save it for myself? It's someone who needs it far more than I do.
Okay.
Thank you, Remy.
Yeah, you're welcome. And what did you say, Althea?
Where on earth did you get something like that? I didn't know you were interested in alchemy.
Well, I'm not very good at... And he kind of just points at you up and down. So I needed to just get better at something else.
Thought you were to be a caster, like what's his face?
I couldn't. I can't do it. I can't. And he kind of looking around, make sure no one's listening. I'm just not very. I've done a few cantrips, but beyond that, I'm not very good at it. And I didn't want to tell. So I've just concentrated on the alchemy.
From what I've heard, and granted that's not much, but it's difficult. You're still young. I doubt you would be good at it, even at your age. Even if you read every day for most of your life, you, like I say, you probably could only do a few cantrips now. Don't give up, Remy. I still don't trust you because I don't know how we got here, but you're all right.
But how's that my fault?
I don't know. You could have had something to do with it.
But so could you. And I'm not blaming you, I'm distrusting you. And he kind of backs off. I didn't mean it like that, I'm just pointing out the facts. Not the face!
Yes, but you live with the man that sent us here, or could have sent us here. I was a visitor. I get what you're saying, and like I say, you have no reason to trust me any more than I have you. But this could have been
I do trust you, that's the thing. And like, if it was a choice, I would not be in an elf mountain with this lot. You lot. You're lovely people.
Thank you.
She'll just sort of almost like smile fondly as if like a wall has been broken down, like silly lad. Just turn away.
As they're chatting, like I will literally kind of just be, as they stood like facing each other, if they were to look down, I just stood between them like smiling, and as Althea goes to turn away, I'd be like, a friendly quarrel or a lover's tiff, who knows? And then I would just walk off.
I was going to say he's like 16, but Althea's only like 17. So.
Yeah. So, as whatever that just happened, what did you get in your investigation roll, Bjorn?
17.
17? Cool. Your arms go deep, and you're now elbow deep in this chest of broken wood, mulch. It is, the wood is so soft it clings to you. But like in bits, like every time you try and brush it off, more of it just seems to appear. You pull through a load of mouldy clothing that has been there for God knows how long. It's just kind of, some of it's really tough and just ragged and horrible. If you put a bit of effort in, you can probably rip it. Other bits of material, whether it be some sort of shirt or tunic, just seems to fall apart as you touch it. But you discover a pearl. Now you know what a pearl is. It's not a great shock to you, but you discover a pearl. It is not massive. It doesn't like shine in your face when you see it. You have a bit of a clean of it, and you clean it up pretty decent, and you have a small pearl. You also find a key, and the back end of it is rusted and disintegrated, gone, whether it was done when you were looking around or back in the day. So you just have the front end of the key, and it kind of goes from the two little teeth bits on the end. You also find a sheath, about dagger size. When you pull that sheath out and you kind of clean that up, the silver around it doesn't shine like silver. Give me an Arcana check.
Okay. Oh no. Natural 20.
Natural. Ooh. Total of.
21.
Oh, nice. Look at that. Wizard extraordinaire.
Total of 19.
Yeah. Total of -5. Oh, shit. So, as you clean up this this dagger sheath, it is... The sheath itself is quite wide, so the daggers would be shorter and thicker. Maybe throwing daggers. Or something that you'd put in like in between your fingers for punching, that sort of thick blade. But the silver is not actually silver, it's mithril. And it's a very thin band that just wraps around, like decorates the middle of the sheath. And maybe if you could look more, maybe a bit more time, but where the actual knife would go in and fit, so at the top of the sheath, there's a little like filigree of mithril just round the top of it. But there isn't like an arcane aura that you can, currently, determine, but it is mithril, not silver, which is super rare, even for any of you. You might know stories, but actually holding mithril is not something that people just wander around. So yes, and that's what you discover. And then you find Faze walking up to you with a potion with a black ink in it.
Hello.
Hello?
Remy has implied that this could make you feel as though you've had a full night's rest. I thought maybe it was worth a go.
I will try anything. Sorry, excuse me. And he takes his traveling cloak and starts to wipe all of the mud and debris off his hands so that he does not dirty her as he takes the bottle.
I haven't checked this potion, but I'll hand it over.
Not responsible.
Disclaimer.
Yeah.
Do you know
Who gave you the bottle?
Remy, over there. Came with
Remy just
the-
waves down the tunnel.
Althea. Implied that I could keep it rather than giving it to you, but of course, you look like a man who really needs some rest.
Etheria,
Mm-hmm.
if this potion kills me, you can have the platinum.
Thank you. I'm sure it won't. I heard him talking about it. He seems to be into this stuff.
I gesture among potentially dead friends.
Thanks, Fel.
And I neck the potion.
Cool, give me a constitution saving throw. Oh yeah.
No one checked it.
Why do people... Just give
I
me the point.
specifically said I haven't checked it.
It's alright.
I'm hoping it's for the taste.
we
I'm
already-
hoping it's just
we
going to be a
already know,
throw-up concert.
We already know Bjorn's all in. You haven't got a lot of math to do, your numbers are low.
Well, because of session 0, there is no longer anything to add on.
Can you go below 1, just out of interest, Eddie?
That's a 7.
Okay. So, as you neck this inky liquid, there's an immediate burning sensation in the back of your throat, like real bad heartburn, and you just vomit a beautiful ink butterfly against the wall. Just all pours out of you, but there's more ink coming out of your mouth than you actually drank. You drop to your knees and you are coughing your living soul out of your face. A couple of seconds pass and you pass
Remy?
out. As
I'm gonna turn
Bjorn
to Remy.
passes out, I'm going to call a break because it's 20 to. Right, and
Just
I
gonna slap Remy
sat
like
here
that.
cross-legged with a rubber band around certain areas. So we're gonna quickly have a bio break. We'll be back in a second. Level 1, kids. Level 1. I've not run level 1 for years. We're gonna have a break. Viewers, don't go away, and if you do go away, come back. Tell all your friends. Bring more numbers in, etc., etc. During the break, you're gonna see a little video from GSCon. There's a con called GSCon in Manchester at the start of August. They've kindly asked me to run a one-shot for them with 8 to 10 people. It'll be 4-ish hours long and it'll be set in the world of Colossus. So look at the little advert. It's written in Yorkshire, so I do apologise. But it does give you a link and some details. There might be the link in the chat in a moment where you can go sign up and attend, whatever, etc., etc. Anyway, we'll be back in 5. See you soon. See you soon. Breaky time. Where's the mic? Boom. Bye bye.
Idiot, a Chinese.
I had chicken and
Technically
rice,
two.
so you're
Technically
fine.
two. Welcome
but-
back.
Ree's meat was really thick.
Yeah,
What?
Ree's got really thick meat. I
Oh
mean,
dear.
what's that noise? Someone's alarm's going off. There's an alarm going off or something.
That's not us, that's you.
That's you, yeah.
Yeah. You've got an alarm going off.
I won't blame us.
Yeah.
I
We
don't.
may be level 1, but not in life. You are the
That's
other.
Hannah. It
It's
happens when Hannah
speaks.
talks.
Yeah, it's when you talk, Hannah.
The fuck?
That's right, level 1.
In the meantime, look at this Scotch egg.
Look at the meat.
that.
Thickness
Look
of
at
the meat
Ree's
on
meat.
that.
Look at Ree's
Look
meat.
at that Scotch egg
Yeah,
lining.
can
Look
someone
at
clip Ree's meat, please?
it.
Right,
Session
so
one. Session one.
just
Right,
before,
stopped.
welcome back to Heavy Week Gaming,
was
where
like
we've
feedback,
started
Hannah,
our
don't
brand new adventure. When glory is not enough.
I
These
thought it
lot
was
are
the
currently
search for
in,
Ree's meat.
currently in a mountain. They are trying to find whatever they're trying to find. I've not actually worked out what they're trying to do yet, and I don't think they have either. However, Bjorn has just drunk a potion. It appears to be magical and is of a black inky nature. He has thrown a lot of black inky natureness up all over the walls and then passed out. So we will tie him back in there, kids.
Bjorn? Remy, what did you do? And I'm going to bend down
I'm gonna
and check.
Give me a medicine
Turn-
check first.
turning to Remy with the back of my hand, like,
I'm turning to Remy with my hand on my sword hilt. Like, what was that?
It's fine. It's fine. As long as he's not dead, it'll bring him back round when.
as long as he's not dead.
Well,
I-
it's quite important. Like you're gonna be like for a day, like asleep. That's what it does to you. Just it knocks you out.
So
Okay.
now we have
It puts
to...
you to sleep.
Well, his body will feel like that. I've never really used it before. I just knew what it did.
Just is it going to make him sleep for 8 hours, or is he going to wake up in a minute feeling like he slept for 8 hours? Because we think it's the second one,
It's
and you're
an
implying
important
it's the first.
I can cast cantrips.
I'm kneeling on the floor next to Bjorn at this point with my arm
What
on
was
his
your
shoulder.
medicine check?
18.
18. You'll bring Bjorn back round to consciousness.
Oh, thank
Bjorn,
God
you've
for
had a long rest.
Just,
you
uh,
feel
just as he comes
fresh,
back round,
great.
I'm looking at. I'm
You
looking
aren't
at,
fully. You aren't fully. However, the
No.
long rest does reduce it by. X.
But I've had one long rest.
You
yeah?
have one long rest.
I
Your
have
body.
Just as he's coming back round, I'm
fucking-
looking at Etheria, like, because I've not really noticed it, and I'm like, the curious Corinthian finds himself richer. And then I look over and I'm like, oh, maybe not.
I cast Mage Hand and use it to slap Remy. So that I can cast cantrips as well.
It's really good to warn people about. I should have checked the potion. That's on me, Bjorn. I'm sorry.
Well, you also didn't anticipate someone to try and kill someone.
I'd actually feel a little bit better.
See,
Good.
and he didn't die. Like, that's good.
Not yet.
You threw up all of that. I mean, just all of it. Look at it. It's like paint.
There is a lot of it.
Get from your face.
From your face. Sorry, that's not funny. I apologise.
If perhaps I was to drink it again, and I feel I would take the effects
Don't
better.
drink what's on the wall.
I don't know.
I'd say even as like a
I-
bird person, I don't recommend drinking your own vomit.
This look of horror.
Yeah, what she said. Yeah, I don't have any more of them, and don't drink the stuff that you don't drink that.
I mean, if you want to sit and lick your own vomit off a wall, that's on you.
And we will fade to black, you animal.
And I will leave.
You
Oh,
rich.
What I meant was, if perhaps I was to drink a similar potion again, I would perhaps get over the effects.
From what I
with a
know,
factor of +1 now instead of 0 as before.
How many rests do you feel like you would need to feel as better as you can be? Metagaming.
on a scale of 1 to 4.
Yeah, on a scale
of 1 to 4.
If your constitution was feeling
perhaps another 3.
Wow,
Jesus.
another 3. It's like on that scale that you rolled max.
Remy, does that potion have a name? Like, is it just something you came up with, or did you buy it, or is it got
I
a
only
name?
made it about 2 days ago. You were kind of an experiment, but
Actual laughter from face.
Jesus Christ, Remy! Like.
well, he said he needed to rest a lot, and look at him. He looks like he were about to die anyway. So I just thought if he died, it'd be
I'm
helping
gonna
him.
speed up the process.
And if he didn't die, then the potion works, and I can name it like Beyond's Awakening
hang on,
or something.
hang on.
Is that? Do you
Hang
want it
on.
named
Please
after you?
do.
I like it.
Hang on.
I like it.
Please,
Is
Remy.
that a Beyond with a B or a
No,
yawn?
stop.
Remy, do
Yeah.
not test any of your alchemical productions on these people again. Okay, you have made this 2 days ago, and you did not know what was going to happen. He could have died.
I didn't. Yeah, but look, I mean, it looks better now, but.
Yeah, he looks better now, but that it could
Althea,
not. Like it could have.
It
gone
did
a different
work,
way.
though. I mean,
it did work, but that doesn't mean it's going to work every time.
But I didn't test it on him.
I did.
You've tested this. No. Yes, you made Phase. You made someone else that we've just met. Test it on someone that we've just met.
To be fair, I tested it on myself.
See?
I, for one, actually appreciate Remy's pragmatic outlook on life.
You are weirdly optimistic.
Yeah, then that's
that
on
is,
you.
Tabitha is behind you going, yes, he is.
I send a message to Tabitha and say, I think I see what you see now.
She just nods at you.
I'm going to stand up from the floor to move away from Bjorn, pat him on the shoulder and go, there is a fine line between optimistic and dead. And go back to the rest.
Whilst you two are over there, Faze and beyond, give me a perception check.
Oh, well, it's shit, to be honest. 11.
Corridor's just full of shit and vomit. What a place to be.
Dog runs out and eats your vomit.
What did you get, Beyond? Jesus, that area. Who's this Goliath?
As they're all like
Sorry,
arguing
so
and stuff
16,
like
do you-
that, I'm just like, the party bonds over potential death.
What did you get, Beyond?
16.
16. In the little alcoved area just beyond where the chest is, there are 2 chains just hanging from, and they go impossibly high beyond your sight, up and up, and they just hang. They are. You could probably grab one of the links like it was a steel handle. Do you know what I mean? The links are that thick in size and such. Some thick meat on these chains.
What the hell is that?
If I yank at one, does it move?
Do you yank it?
Yeah.
Cool.
You're yanking my chain.
As you yank the chain,
Oh, God, you still got to stop poking shit.
it comes down and just stops. It doesn't go back up. It actually drops a few feet as you pull it. Yeah, and the other one goes up slightly.
I was going to
Yeah.
ask
Now
this.
now give me a perception check.
It's going to be a 15.
Cool. You hear a. And you look up, and droplets of water to start coming down. More and more, and then you see it. You might want to shout run. There is a lot of water coming down that tunnel.
Run! And I run.
Water hits the little alcove where Bjorn is. Give me a dexterity save. Faze, give me a dexterity save. As the water hits the alcove and shoots forwards into the common room where you lot are. Faze?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, you take a single point of bludgeoning damage as the water just pushes you out of that little tunnel and you just catch it on your way past. Bjorn?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage. As the same thing happens, you kind of bash off each other and you go splashing into the room as more and more water starts pouring into this room. And Aetheri, you go, yeah. And the water starts rising and rising. It's now ankle deep. It's absolutely pushing out. And as it goes around the room, all the tunnels except number 2, you hear as stone slabs just start to slide down and seal them off, leaving tunnel 2 open, which was the water chute that Aetheri saw before. And the water starts to fill and fill. What do you do?
Have the other doors already closed?
They're,
They're
halfway. So you
we need to slide under a door.
So you can attempt to slide under a door. I don't know why I'm doing this. You can attempt to slide under a door. They're real doors. They're real doors.
Attempt.
You can attempt to slide under a door, or you can just go with it and go down the water chute. The water's still rising.
I'm going to head for door 3 and go behind the door. I don't remember what was there.
Door 3 is the one you've just been thrown out of.
Which is the door with the steps? Was that door 2?
4 and 5 were a slope that went down, and door 1.
That met,
door 1
yeah.
is the ledges that you have to climb, like a very almost like a jungle gym at a kid's playground. You have to climb up.
I'm gonna grab Remy with one wrist and Velk by the other and just fling them towards door number 1 and follow them and try and just bundle them all in and try and make as much eye contact with the rest so they can see what I'm doing.
You could shout.
Up is good.
You could shout.
yeah. This way.
I won't use my voice. I'll just make eye contact.
Oh no!
Intense staring.
While I'm grabbing the rest.
Right. Velk, are you resisting at all?
Probably be like, the party looks around wildly, wondering who can't swim. So just
the swim bit goes as you just get dragged, as your book gets dragged.
As you're flung. Yeah.
Remy is happily to be thrown out of the way of imminent danger. Give me a acrobatics check, Velk, and I'll do one for Remy. He's quite dexterous. He lied. He's actually a ninja.
Like a monk in disguise.
Great 17.
17?
Yeah.
Cool. As you and Remy kind of get half thrown, shoved towards number 1, and you're, dictating to your book, you backwards roll and find yourself, like both of you kind of were going off direction, but then hit each other, and it got like a set of snooker balls going back on course, and you both kind of tumble into the entranceway of number 1. The door is now nearly. Oh, what's everyone else doing?
Following Tabitha.
Following Tabitha.
Heading for door number 1.
Yeah, I'll be heading for door number 1 after flinging them up there.
Same.
as I'm seeing it starting to close, like I'll just be waving.
I fling you up there, and then I go down door number 2.
The would-be storyteller waves at the dead adventurers.
Finally, we've got rid of them.
Tabitha picks number 1 as well. As you all rush over to number 1, you just as you get there, the door is now 3/4 closed. You have Velk and Remy on the other side where the step bits are, and the door is about to close with you lot on this side. There's not enough space for you to just all run through it, as it was halfway down when you all got your actions.
Shield that way up.
So you bang your shield, you're going to try and wedge it under the shield, so you slam your shield under there, like kind of long ways, because it's shorter rather than higher, and it immediately stops the storm, but it is fighting against it. What you see happen pretty quickly is indentation on the shield as the storm starts to crush the shield, but you do have enough time.
I'm going to stand there and hold my shield and just be like, go, 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 everyone, like, trying to...
Run through.
Yeah.
Cool. Velk, there's not a lot of room in there. You'll have to climb to let other people through. Remy's started climbing already. Give me a athletics check. Just don't get on that 1. Remy got a 5. Jesus Christ.
mean, I got a 6.
Wow.
So, as you are not in imminent danger, you're able to just, and being the massive gnome you are, you and Remy kind of scramble up the first 3
I'd
or
use
4.
him. I'd straight up.
yeah, on his hair and everything. Remy half piggybacks Velk, and you guys are 2 or 3 of these ledges up. The rest of you kind of scramble under. Give me athletics checks as you scramble under and climb out the way to give Althea space.
Awesome at these. Ooh, not as bad as I expected.
19.
Fine. You just don't need
14.
that one. Don't need a nat
16.
one. Anyone
16.
on a nat one? Cool. Tabitha? Come on, Tabs. Come on, Tabitha.
That one.
That one?
No.
Really?
Never liked her.
Bye, Tabitha.
She was well obnoxious.
So, as you all pile through it all, Tabitha's the last one to come through. And as she comes through, you've got a choice, Althea. You try and drag Tabitha through, or you let the door close.
I'm going to try and drag her.
Cool. As you let go of your shield to drag her through, give me an athletics check.
Can I, am I at the top and noticing this?
You are several feet ahead. You don't. This is all happening super quick. You won't be able to react to it.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
Ooh, 23. 17
Cool.
plus 6.
You let go of your shield. You drag Tabitha through. You both crumple backwards as the stone door destroys your shield.
Oh.
Althea's like, 2 AC. 2 AC. My beautiful stats.
Just going to turn to Tabitha and go, you owe me a new one of those.
She brushes herself down. My thanks, and I will gladly replace your shield.
The would-be hero looks sorrowful as she thinks about her family heirloom that now drifts off with the water.
Why do we even need a DM at this point?
Because he'll make it easy for you. So,
How much would the new shield cost? Because I have obviously a platinum to put towards the cost of it.
Not as much as that, but I don't think we're going to be getting one anytime soon.
there is just water seeping through the cracks in the door. Not a lot, but it definitely tells you that room is full. And you can hear that dull as if Tunnel 2 has probably got a hell of a lot of water just now pouring down it. And you begin your climb. You climb about 80 feet. The temperature remains the same. It's still very, very cold here. So wherever you are, there is still a lot of rock between you and the elements of the outside world. But using this snapshot, it kind of, if you were to map it, it'd sort of do a little staggered, almost Tetris type game all the way through as you're going up, as this whatever came through here and made this natural climbing tunnel. Are you about to say something, Vilk?
The party ascends, wondering, is the Viconian on our side?
God just looks at Belt. What do you mean?
The DM
Althea
checks
begins
his
to
notes
wonder.
and says, "Is the Viconian the beg?" So, Volk, you're leading this. That's all good bards too.
Straight up, anybody who steps forward, I'll just be climbing on top of them. I'll be like, the
There's not a lot of space.
helpful wanderer.
If you wish
assist
to-
the party members.
If you wish to switch places, you will need to do a roll because there's not a lot of space to manoeuvre, even for your smaller self.
I'll just be climbing on Remy. Anytime Remy goes to climb up,
So
I'm just like,
you and Remy are kind of
Yeah.
trying to make the other one go first, but then accidentally being first, and then when you try to make it, and then you kind of do this and switch places all the way up as you climb.
So there's no way that I could just fly up.
Not without putting your head in someone's ass. Which
Whose ass?
Do with that information what you will.
yeah, you role players you see fit. So, no, there's not a lot of space for you to fly. You get to about the 80-foot mark. Remy and Velk kind of stop, have a bit of a breather. The steps now have actually just become like finger holds and footholds, so it's actual climbing now, right? And every now and then you'll see Remy push his back against the wall and his feet in front of him. Velk will be like half sat on one of his legs and half just kind of clinging onto a ledge, and you guys are kind of positioning yourselves up. And then you carry on again. You've actually climbed for about 5 minutes now, which is a long time to be constantly climbing upwards, having the odd rest now and then. And then it just breaks open, like you've just climbed through a trapdoor. comes open, and it is a massive flat stone floor. As Velk kind of comes up out the top, and Remy and that, and you all kind of help each other out till you stood in this room, there is just a circular, smooth stone floor. Looking at the stone floor, you can see grooves where maybe the imitation of tiles was once done. Someone's like kind of grooved in and created these tiles. Towards the edge of the cave floor, it kind of domes, and you can see where whoever has done this has chipped away to give it a smoother sort of look. So you look like you're in a very well crafted-ish, if you could say that, in a mountain, just dome room. Flat floor, domed walls and ceiling. Looking about, there's light beyond the ceiling, but there's no source. You can't see the source. It's like if you had a very powerful torch in a thick fog, you kind of get that light hitting the barrier of the dome, as it were, but there's stone beyond it. It's a very surreal thing to observe. Give me a perception, give me an arcana check, Etheria.
Oh, wow. 8.
8?
Could I assist in that?
You can roll instead.
Roll instead.
Need to assist quicker, but yeah.
Sorry, I meant
That's
to
all right.
say it quicker, but that would be a 19.
Cool. Where the dome is, you kind of come out in the middle of the floor, just out, and you're kind of looking around the place. If you were looking at a compass, and you kind of come out, it's just imagine there's a compass layout. The north side of the of this domed area, there is a like a plinth, like a pedestal, stone pedestal that kind of just sits out from the wall, and there's something on it that you can't quite see, but it piques your senses. Like you get a bit tingly when you cast magic, when you call upon the druidic magics, and you get that little tingle in your fingers before bam. You get that little feeling when you're just scanning around and your eyes catch it.
I would like to approach.
Okay.
Not gonna say anything. Just gonna walk towards it.
As you walk
As you
towards
do.
it, you all see Raya just walking over. Have you pointed out to him, or are you just walking over to it?
Just walking over.
Cool. What are the rest of you doing? Raya's having a look over there.
The wicked woman wanders off.
Bitch.
Rhea is not wicked. I'd like to just look around to see if there's anything interesting, see if there's anything, a way out of the room that isn't back down.
Give me a perception check.
Well, that AD is a solid 6.
Not from what you can see. I mean, the obvious, the floor you've just climbed out of. But other than that, you're kind of just taken in by the possibly skilled crafting that took place here. They've chipped away. They've put a lot of effort in. It's not smooth, but they put a lot of effort in to make this particular room dome-esque.
Wow.
Investigate to see if I can work out what purpose the room had.
Investigate. Go for it.
That is going to be a dirty 20 again.
Cool. This reminds you, you have a looking around and you sort of start like pushing the dust away that's on where the tiles are, and you brush more and more away, more and more away. It's a large glyph type pattern on the floor around you, maybe 40 feet left to right radius from the centre where you climbed out of it, and you brush more and more and you move it away now, and you're kind of looking around at it, and you look up and then you look back down. And the memory you get, not necessarily the function of this room, but the thing it reminds you of is when you were very young and they used to do, when some of the shamans used to call upon the Vendari and tell stories of how they came to be and how the mere mortals would display themselves to the Vendari and call upon them. And you'd stand in a prepared circle of magic, and then you would allow your soul to fly free and commune with the Vendari, and that's the memory you get. But there's no like definitive. You don't recognise the pattern, and it's just clearly it doesn't look symmetrical or planned like a tiled floor would. There's definite like swirls and angles, and there's a pattern of a glyph upon the floor.
I get the feeling then that it's a temple or a place of worship, perhaps.
That's entirely up to yourself.
Okay.
Anybody else before Rhea pushes the button? Cool.
Follow Rhea to the middle.
Just going to be staring
Thing.
in awe. And keeping an eye on Remy.
Remy's just looking around, and as Bjorn uncovers stuff, he's kind of looking at it as well. Give me an insight check.
Was that me, sorry?
Yep. You're watching Remy.
I am, the naughty little worm. 19. 18 plus
19?
Yeah.
Remy is very, very intrigued. I can't hear you, but you can still hear me. Remy is very intrigued at what Bjorn's doing. He seems truly curious of the patterning that's on the floor. And you can almost see him taking mental notes. But what you actually succeeded, or failed, or observed, is Tabitha and her reaction. She recognises the glyph, but there's only a twitch in her look as you're concentrating on Remy. But on your 19, you notice that glyph shows Tabitha shows recognition of the glyph on the floor.
What does it mean, Tabitha? Remy, does this mean anything to you?
Remy's kind of still looking. It reminds me of one of the schools of magic. I can't pinpoint it, but it does remind me of an arcane nature rather than divine or anything else. Tabitha's looks at it, looks back at you when you ask her the question. Constellamancy is the school you are looking for, Remy. Remy kind of gets a little bit excited. Star magic? Indeed.
As they're speaking, I'll use prestidigitation to make like a ooh sound.
I thought it was going to be twinkly stars, but no.
You know, I'm a nursery rhyme cracking off in the background.
Constella, I mean, I do not pretend to be of any kind of arcane nature, but I have never heard of that before.
It's originated in Vey.
Does anything in this room, Tabitha, give you any more indication as to where we actually might be? Are we in Vey?
There are snowy mountains in Vey, but I'm unsure of. I'd have to be outside.
Would I know much about Constellamancy from my lessons?
Not with a 6.
Same question.
Oh yeah, you check.
Beyond, you've heard of it. It is said that the Vendari's domain is among the stars, and there aren't constellations for the Vendari, but there are single stars in the Viconian sky that shamans can point at every time, but everyone else kind of goes, "Where the fuck is he pointing?" Or they're pointing. So yeah,
I know Costo's one, for example. In the night sky, I'd be able to point.
You'd be able to
Costo's.
you'd be able to pick your own. Yeah, you'd be able to spot Costa a mile away. It's like a star on the right onto a morning pond. But yeah, that's the only like link you have. And Remy's like, that makes sense, and he starts kind of tracing around the glyph. Now he knows. He's seen low-level magics of all the schools as part of his teachings.
Obviously, I've studied quite a lot. I was quite an educational establishment. Have I ever heard of it?
Constellamancy. Give me a religion roll. Or Arcana, whichever's higher.
Both the same.
Cool. I need to know which one you're rolling because your answer will be different.
It won't. Let's say religion, and it was a 4. Oh no, I'm lying. I'm sorry. It was a 6.
Oh well, in that case,
I'm really oblivious right now. I'm just like, hey, this is nice.
You've heard of it. Beyond that, it's just you try and think of like any divine entity or religious entity that reminds you of it, but there's a lot of religions that involve the stars and stuff like this, and there's nothing springing to mind of import right now.
Go back to staring at the wall.
Cool. Rhea. and Etheria. As you approach the back of this domed cave, the small plinth has a shape to it. It's very crudely done, as if a child was making something out of Play-Doh and then it just set. But it looks like a lizard. It's got frills around the neck, or at least an attempt at a larger body, and the tail sort of wraps around the base of it. It's not a very distinctive lizard, but you kind of get that runs around on all fours sort of shape, but kind of is stood on its back legs and up. And it's like almost totem pole in nature, in that it's not a lizard, it's the image of one on a rectangular stone, if you see what I mean. They haven't managed to chip away in the bits between the fingers and stuff like this. The item that is on top of the plinth looks like a top of a morning star, a spiked ball where it's got lots and lots of spikes. It looks like one of them on top, and it's a coppery colour, maybe the size of a ball bearing with these lots of spikes out of it. What you do notice is it's not sat on anything, it's just suspended about a centimetre off this plinth, this copper star ball bearing thing.
I'm going to shout out to the rest of the group and be like, has anyone ever seen one of these before? I don't want to touch it. Looks like it hurt.
I'll go and look.
It's in a morning star before. Is it not a weapon? Is it?
It looks like the head of a morning star, but as you have a close look, it's tiny. But yeah.
Alfie, is it not a weapon? What are we looking at here?
I don't know. It's levitating.
Alfie could definitely use it to take someone's eye out.
I was going to say, better would hurt if you threw it at someone.
Go on then.
Poke it.
You gonna poke it?
I would like to poke it.
Fucking love.
Do you want me to poke it with my cantrip?
Yes.
Rather than you touch the spiky thing?
Yeah, I'm like this.
So you're
Yes.
summoning Mage Hand?
Good idea.
The look in the Viconian's eye says he's disheartened by the fact his party is going to poke it before him.
I'm going to back up 30 feet and then I'm going to cast Mage Hand.
So, is your Mage Hand a Dragonborn hand?
I would say yes.
Cool. So as you summon your ethereal Dragonborn hand, and it goes over and it kind of just grabs the thing. It grabs hold of it, but it doesn't move it. It just stays where it is. And then after about a second, your Mage Hand just goes and goes through it.
That's odd.
Viconian's eyes light up.
Now's my chance.
You're reading my thoughts, little man.
I don't like how Eddie has the capacity to change the entire party's view of the player
I love
just
it.
by his narration.
I
I think
love
it's
it.
great.
I'm just throwing stats here, like you just do what you want.
You are very intuitive for such a little man.
I just smile and stand next to him.
Would you like me to touch it?
Tabitha says, is there a height requirement on intuition in Viconia?
Ooh. Leave him alone, he's already down.
Just gonna look at her for a moment. And just gonna shake my head. And I'm gonna walk over and poke it.
Cool. As you're walking over, Tabitha will look at you, Velk, and just give you a nod. You walk over to the spiky ball, you walk past Etheria, you see the scaled Mage Hand. And when you say poke it, what are you doing?
Grasp at it and try and pull it towards me.
Cool. Are your hands gloved?
They are not.
Cool. As your lie, man, just learn to lie, Rich. Yeah, I'm in gauntlet plate, and it's the only thing on me. Only
I
thing
don't have
on me.
lines.
I have one plate.
I just want to teabag it.
I have the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
With one slot left. You grab the spike ball. Can you give me a charisma save, please?
What's the worst that could happen? Everybody wonders as the Viconian strides forward.
Charisma save I can do.
Do you have a little?
Why-
do you have
why
a
would you
little
say
book
that?
around?
Bloody
Would you say?
warlocks.
25.
Cool.
Oh.
You are not banished, as you feel your soul and very physical presence kind of like sort of boom, like you've been pulled underwater really quick and then allowed to stand back on dry land again, and you sort of shake yourself out of it. In that instant like moment of no, I'm going nowhere, you just see a nebula of pinks, blues, oranges, nightshade blues and stars as far as your eyes could have seen, like gone. And the copper like tiny miniature morning star head just sits in your hand.
There's a moment of suspense as everybody watches, intrigued.
Waiting to see what happened.
I do not think I should have done this. But
Shocking.
for now, I think I am okay.
They all consider no longer talking to him, so he thinks they're not there.
I can still hear you.
Who said that?
Anyone seen Beyond?
There's gaslight Bjorn into thinking he's invisible now.
I can still hear all of you.
Even though I, as Hannah, really want to do this, it has no fucking clue. It's like he's literally stood there.
Join us next week when there's only 5 adventurers.
Has rage quit.
Now that I'm holding it, having experienced that, do I have any inkling that it still holds the same kind of power, or
You have no idea.
if I pass it to someone else?
You are unsure if it was the item that generated the effect or something protecting it.
Would anyone like to play a game we have in Vaconia? Just hot potato,
Catch the death ball.
harem ball. It's just
If you want to pass it,
If
over-
Remy even moves, I'm putting my
No.
arm out like that to his chest.
Hayes, do you want to die?
no.
This is how
that's-
you die. This is literally how things happen.
I'll bring my Dragonborn hand, my mage hand over him and try and pick it up off his hand.
Clever.
Do you allow him to be on? Do you allow them to be on?
yeah, I'm holding it out.
Cool. Mage hand comes over and Etheria manages to pick it up. And it's in your mage hand.
I can touch it now.
It would appear that where it was protected it more than what it was.
Yeah, you
I
okay?
do.
All right, yeah.
I'll give it back to Bjorn. I
Hang
don't
on.
know if that was wise, Bjorn. Oh, yeah.
Beck's dying gently in the background.
Is she dead?
Come on, Vel.
Quick
off you go.
interlude.
A brief interlude while we check on Aiden's wife.
Na-na-na.
Bjorn starts to play catch with the mage, with the
With
mage
the mage
hand.
hand.
I see this is going to be a very serious party. Yay!
I can't believe we didn't gaslight him into thinking he was invisible.
So tempting.
Like I said, me as a person totally would have. Any of my other characters also would have. Rhea would not. It's like, what?
Your face
What?
has this like really scary look to her, but she's like, "Wee, life is quite good."
Oh, bits. Thanks.
Woo,
Lovely.
bits.
I
Woohoo.
love it.
Oh,
We haven't
I
used
totally-
any rerolls. We have
Yeah,
like
I totally
6.
forgot we
No.
had them.
That's why I thought if you passed it over, I was going to use one of the rerolls if I failed the charisma save.
Thanks,
Let's all
Uli.
use
Oh my
one
God.
each, all at the same time.
You could have done it
Yes.
to save your shield. We are idiots.
The shield didn't get
Shit.
a roll. The shield was always going to be crushed.
Get
It
the
was to
feeling-
save.
Yeah.
It was to save Tabitha. I
Oh,
rolled
that's
for.
true.
I get the
That was
feeling
the should have
though.
died.
I get the feeling that I'm going to be really good at saves and skill checks, and then every time a battle kicks off, I'm just going to suck.
You're going to be there going, "I hit it with a spoon."
Yeah, I hit it. No, I don't.
Does Velk have a floating book?
Yes.
I want to know if at some point if Felk has like a normal conversation.
No.
I'm very intrigued. I need to know.
One day
I
we'll all
have a
try.
feeling.
We'll try and get them to speak in the first person. We'll try.
I'd just be like, all right, name's Jeff.
I have a feeling it's only ever going to be when they're drunk.
Yeah, they get really
Like-
drunk and suddenly they're like, "Life's
Me or-
been
me or
really
Velk."
difficult, to be honest." Both.
I should be medicated. Just
Ima-
saying.
Imagine if Felk's really depressive when drunk. So they're just like, "Everything's been really hard the last couple of weeks, guys. I'm not
Oh
liking it."
no.
Or is it still just going to be every time you ask Melk a first person question, it's the gnome chronicler ponders how to answer.
I like the nicknames we're all getting. Like the evil lady, the would-be hero.
What was my nickname?
You have one yet?
I don't have one yet.
No,
Yeah.
I
no.
can't remember.
What was mine?
The evil lady.
Evil lady.
The wicked
Wicked
lady.
woman. Wicked
The
woman.
Wicked woman. That was it.
I dread
Yeah,
to think.
Up in the tower bit, you were saying like slagging me off.
I was like,
Straight away. I
away.
was like,
Bjorn's the Viconian, just straight up.
The Viconian.
The
Viconian.
for now. Let's see how it
One
goes.
thing that you will
Might
learn
get an
about
adjective
Raya,
at the beginning of it.
Raya has had a very sheltered life. Does
No
not
kidding.
understand basic concepts. Very basic concepts.
Like teasing people.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, is the boss back?
Ah, we
As,
have
talking.
a funeral.
Stop
As
talking about 80s hair problems.
No
As
problems with Maya.
as
Bless.
Bjorn is playing catch with this little copper ball in the mage hand, and they're like, most people would probably ponder what's just happened, but not one of our protagonists. He just smiles away.
Smile and wave,
I am
boys.
smiling as I play catch with the mage.
Our conversation while you were gone earned us 100 bits. So
Yeah, thank you, Uli. And Uli's like, okay, and we're back. Like, we
Either
weren't
that
entertaining
or-
enough.
Either that or Uli was giving 100 hits for Bex dying in the background. Who knows?
yeah.
She gets a reroll.
She's a reroll. Constitution
how
saving
OG
throw.
big-
She's alright, she passed with flying colours. So,
Good.
as
I feel
the
like we need fan art
as
of
the,
Bjorn as a guinea pig now, though. Sorry.
I know a few people actually. Etheria, sort me out a guinea pig with Bjorn on it. So,
That
as
makes
the
it sound like riding it. Sorry.
if Etheria wants to ride a Bjorn guinea pig, that's entirely up to Etheria. As your mage hand grabs this this copper like star ball bearing type thing, you notice it's like a slow dispel has been cast on your magic. So when you've practiced your magics back in Vey, and obviously as a caster, there are moments where you want to counterspell the other mage or arcane practitioner and vice versa. So you are aware of what it feels like when one of your magics are countered mid-cast or just after a cast. The copper star is slowly countering your mage hand, and what you see is your mage hand actually becomes solid over about 3 or 4 seconds, and your mage hand solidifies in the air as a pink rose quartz scaled dragonborn hand, and just falls to the floor and shatters as if glass. And the copper star ball just don't bounce, don't roll, just hits the floor like a lead weight. Dish.
Oh.
What the fuck is this thing?
Is that not how that spell works? Just so I know. That doesn't happen normally. Okay.
No, it's like it's attacked my spell. Or
That sounds promising.
I would like to try something.
I'm concerned.
I'm going to pick the ball up.
I back away.
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt to pick the ball up.
You pick the ball, nothing happens.
With my other hand, I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast at the wall opposite me.
Stones fly off.
But the magic works.
Magic
Yeah?
works.
Okay.
come back as tell us, Bjorn, before you do these things, please.
How heavy does it feel, Bjorn?
Not that bit.
Is it sharp? Isn't it stabbing you? Is it?
I'm assuming he's not like stress balling it.
Well, yeah.
But let me know if you do.
I go and stand next to FaZe and I'm like, the intelligent lady ponders not about the ball itself, but about how it might interact with something around the room. And then I'll go off and maybe try to investigate and see if there's anything that's like that could house the ball or anything like that that's around.
Give me an investigation check.
Now I'm now feeling slightly sad because my rolls are not intelligent.
Investigation 19.
19?
Hey.
You find the pedestal that it was originally on, and you see the little like lizard frill. The more you look at it, it looks like a lizard fork, like a person. You can just see that where it was 4 limbs, they're not. They weren't on all fours and then stood upright. They're actually kind of in a crouch. But you do notice like the frills around the necks. The east side, so like when you go from a 90 from that pedestal, there is a set of scales that don't look like your normal like tower bit with the chains and then either side. They kind of got a strange contraption going on where they hold water, and that there's like a squared, like a square on its side. So I say diamond, but it's not super diamond, just on its facing you, and then the little pulleys on either side. There's no water in either cup, but you can hear water nearby. And there is a flat where you would possibly, if you were at a merchant's, you'd throw like copper pieces or silver pieces, like a tips sort of plate.
So, 1 cup one side, a flat bit the other side.
No, 2 cups either side,
Right.
both empty, and the mechanism is the square diamond-like shape like this. Yeah, I can't do it with my hands, but you know what I mean. And then as part of that, so in the middle of that, there is a flat bit, so like that. So this is your shape, and then you've got a flat bit in the middle where you'd put coins. Or it looks like a tips jar at some of the merchants' place.
Okay. I walk back over and stand next to FaZe, and I'm like, as she looks around the room, she ponders, could it be something to do with those scales? And I'll like start walking back over to where they are.
Hey guys, I'm an intelligent lady, and apparently I've spotted some scales. We should go and investigate. You're right, Althea. I don't know how to.
So
Let's
you
go look at the scales.
So you walk over with.
Oh
Volk.
yeah.
You walk over with Volk. 1 to 20, guys. 1 to 20.
Yeah.
If you kill him off now, you get a barbarian. So
He's dying first. If we have to start eating each other to survive, he's going.
you go over to the scales. You see the same thing. The set of scales with the 2 cups that would hold liquid, and the flat bit of metal in between them that looks akin to, even in Ravenholm, like where merchants would throw a couple of coin on them. Or sometimes like bards or performers would have them where they just, where they're busking or...
Do we think this has anything to do with the angry bull?
That's up to you.
Do you want to try putting the angry ball on the scales, or like?
Do you want to weigh the balls?
Yeah. Do
Weigh
we
Bjorn's
want to
balls?
weigh it, or put it on the flat bit in the middle of the diamond, in between the 2 cups?
That wouldn't help with. Well, you'd think it'd be something to do with water, really,
Why?
You can also hear water phase when you get over to it.
because of the cups. What's the point of having a cup for a ball, unless
Yeah.
you're playing a game?
As she's saying it, I'm like, the 2 pulleys from the mechanism dangle, and like kind of jingle them a little bit, like the 2 pulley bits next to it.
You know, you're not as helpful as you think you are.
Not have good history with pulling chains attached to water.
I'll pull your chain, and I'll
Why?
gently pull
Flirt
one
your
of
own
the
time.
chains and see what happens.
As you pull it, that one on your side dips down, and you hear, and you see water filling in the other cup. So you pulled yours down, and the other one comes up, but it fills with water. There's no water pouring into it; you just see it fill, like a magic trick, fill with water. And then it stops
Okay.
when it gets full.
We're all staring at this thing.
And
Going,
a gold light appears in the centre of the tips tray.
oh,
Does the middle bit where you could put coins and things like that?
That's where the gold dot appears.
Does it look like there's room enough that the ball could
Yeah,
go
yeah,
into?
yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
The ball is only it's smaller than a tennis ball.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. I didn't know if it, but I didn't know how
Yeah.
small you were saying this
Yeah.
is. Yeah, that's cool.
Sorry, it's chunky enough, Meccano style. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna put the ball in the. I'm gonna walk over and put the ball in the bowl.
As you
The
put
angry stress ball down.
as you put the ball in, no matter how you try to put it in, it rights itself. So one of the longer points is in the point of the gold light that's in the middle of the tips tray, and silver tendrils of light, as if a spider had just launched a load of webbing, and it goes and encompasses every point on this mace star ball and holds it in place. The water liquid, the water in the cup that's filled, then you're holding the other one down, goes silver, and you're still holding this one down. Nothing else happens.
Can I pull the other one?
So, are you pulling the other one, letting go to pull the other one?
No,
How are you doing it? So you're currently holding one down. So you're going to grab the other one, and then just kind of guide them up. Yeah.
Yeah.
As you start doing this, the silver liquid starts to drop down. As they meet in the middle, you've noticed that there's gold liquid in the one that you're letting come back up, and they get half and half. So as you hold them in the middle, and as they go to past each other at the midpoint, they lock. The copper star ball on the middle, all the tendrils kind of go, and it starts to float upwards. There's this copper star, and you're right on the edge of where it domes. And as it goes up, you see a white line just sort of crack through the dome of the cave, and it goes up and up. And as you look around you, more and more of these white lines start to appear until they look like a Terry's chocolate orange, and they unsegment like a flower blooming. And as they open up, you see a void. You don't see the night sky, you see a void. And beyond where it opens up, a bit like an observatory as it opens up, and beyond that void you just see the same nebula that you saw, Bjorn, in your instant flash of go away. And you see pinks and blues streaking across this night sky. But it is definitely like a snapshot of somewhere. It's not the night sky above. You can tell. It kind of just opens up and shows you this nebula that is very distinct from everywhere else around it, which everything else around it is more mountain rock.
Is it so? It's like a. Can we see any? After hearing what they said about the constellamancy or whatever it is, are there any stars? Like, are there any clear constellations in this image?
Give me an Arcana check.
Oh, God, really?
Yep.
Me?
You asked.
That's a 10 minus 1. That's a 9.
There's millions of stars. You can't pick out a constellation in them. But you don't know anywhere in the Etorian skies that displays such a palette of colour in the stars, the pinks, the blues, the oranges.
I can't, there's obviously lots of stars. I can't see any constellations, but I don't see why I would be able to. But I don't think it's the Etorian sky, whatever it is. I've never seen it like this before.
Die? Even like through like historical knowledge from tribes or anything like that?
Give me an Arcana check. And add your druid level to it, so +1.
That is an 18.
Including your druid level, yeah?
Including my druid, yeah.
You do see a constellation. It is what the common tongue would translate it to the word hybrid. But there is a longer fae name, a sylvan name, that you can't quite remember. It is long, long ago that it used to hold this sylvan name. And you are very confident you've remembered a lot about this constellation. But this hybrid is of a draconic and demonic nature. Whether such a thing actually existed, you can't remember, but you do know that there are lots and lots of stories that lots and lots of like your kith, your fair brethren and such would have told stories about, because it is a wonderful and fanciful thing to use in your interactions with non-fae. But yes, there is a sylvan word that you can't quite remember. It means hybrid, and that's what you know the constellation to be. And it is of a demonic and draconic nature.
Okay. I remember something about this. Like, it's really old. Like, it's called hybrid. Like, there's some like massively long word, but no one has time to remember it anymore. But it's something to do with like dragons and like demons. So I'm gonna guess that it's probably something not good. No offense. And kind of looks over. Etheria. I'll be like,
Dragons don't exist anymore. Do you mean Dragonborn?
something like
The
that.
Taurus and the Thamos?
Now you lost me, but it's like draconic, dragony, something or other with like demons and stuff. Like
Tabitha and Remy just in almost unison. There are no dragons in Colossus, and those that Etheria speaks of, I believe, are the natives of Quran. Says Tabitha, and Remy just nods.
well, this is probably older than the pair of you put together, so don't know why that counts.
Tabitha raises an eyebrow.
Rhea raises one back. Very confused by this whole interaction. Like she's just stating tribal fact.
So Rhea believes.
Well, yeah, all she's known is her tribe, so of course that's all she believes.
Do you do anything else?
Yep.
There's a nebula of death above you. Do you want to fly up into it, Rhea? Take me on with you?
Need to go.
That is death, and no, thank you, no.
As we're like all
Fairs, sorry, Velk. Fairs, you hear a ticking noise, and you see that the two scales kind of like tick, like keep switching places, and there's a very small, noticeable, less liquid in either cup, as if they're on a like salt timer or egg timer.
I don't think it's going to stay open that long. The scales are ticking.
I'll go and stand next to Bjorn and be like, as he gazes up at the stars, there's a slight pulling sensation as the weight of the pendant round his neck. He ponders. What might this trinket do in this situation?
Could you perhaps, little man, tell me the rest of the story? As you seem to be
Vague booking.
Just
if we
smiling.
could just skip to the end, it would be no. I am going to, for the first time since all of these have apparently appeared around our necks, then I'm going to attempt to take it off.
There we go. 2 hours 45 minutes.
I'm going to attempt to take the necklace off.
2 hours, 45 minutes, and a little note.
This shit's
We
hard
like
work.
them. We like them. Why would we take them off?
Ooh,
Feels
spooky
natural.
jewellery that wasn't there before. Be right. Be right.
Yeah, keep it on, be fine.
Totally matches me.
You asked us to be level 1-ish, lady.
I
Yeah.
expect this to change with each level. Just no pressure.
I'm
give
gonna
me-
say is remember our last DM wouldn't let us do anything.
So, as you take off your amulet, or attempt to, give me a... I need to find it now.
Yeah, that's why we're not taking them off. Bad things happen.
Death.
Give me a wisdom save.
It's not a
Yeah.
safe.
I'd be fucked.
This page in front of him
Can't
doesn't
take
say
mine off.
sunshine and rainbows.
Actual 20.
Cool. You lose 2 deaths. No.
Take half damage.
As you go to
Don't
take it
die.
off, it's like it's magnetized, and you feel that little bit of a wobble as you pull the metal away. And as you get it just like past your ears to like the side of your temples, that magnetism sort of falls away, and you woof, and you take it off.
Do I feel any different?
About £1 lighter.
Okay. The room around me hasn't changed in any way that I can see or feel or sense.
No.
Try holding it up towards the ceiling. I don't know why.
Wave it around the room.
No, just
I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna hold it up towards the ceiling.
if you could do a little dance while you're
So-
wrong accent.
The
Swing it.
nebula-like view above you that's kind of just been opened up and projected before you. You feel that same magnetism on the gemstone again, and as you hold it up, do you try and keep hold of it?
Yeah.
Or do you let it go? Give me a strength check. You're competing with the nebula.
If Bjorn goes with it, I swear.
I would laugh so hard. I don't think I'd be able to breathe.
We knew he was the bad guy.
Smooth as silk, yeah, next week.
Competing against the nebula.
17.
17.
Oh, good try.
Roll
You
for the
hold on
universe,
to it and
AD.
you get dragged.
So, as you try and keep hold of it, you're like, oh, it's going, because it doesn't go at any like great immense strength, but it just starts going away from you. You keep hold of it, and you're like, I'll just keep hold of this. Hey, well, and then it pulls you a little bit, and you dig your feet in, and you start pulling it back. What actually happens is the chain snaps, and the gemstone off into the nebula, and you see a bright purple star just take its place in that nebula, and then the purple colouring is gone, and it's just a star amongst these millions and millions of stars.
He smiles. The jewelry wasn't superfluous after all.
Just gonna look down at my chest.
You 5 notice Bjorn's left eye go purple.
Oh.
The colouring of the, not the white, just the colouring.
Bjorn, you've got a little, purple in your eyeball. Do you feel
Well,
okay?
Well, I still feel a bit under the weather, but apart from that,
Is your vision the same? Is it nothing's purple?
80 is my vision the same.
There's an itching in your eye, but your vision doesn't change as of yet.
No, it is all good, I think.
Okay. I'm going to take my necklace off and do the same.
Give me a will save, wisdom save.
A will save. What game are we playing?
Pathfinder, Carbon, D&D. I've no
one
idea.
fucking- No one knows
edition.
at this point.
Wisdom save. Okay.
Fortitude
It's-
saves and will saves.
I've got mind, reflex, dexterity, fortitude, constitution.
Can I use one of the rerolls?
You've
Yes,
got like
please.
13 of them, so yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Use all of them if you need to.
That's a 15. Still not amazing, but it's better.
15.
Yeah.
As you try to take it off,
Why do I always fail these? I've got plus
you
2.
take
Aren't you a cleric?
2 points of psychic damage
Okay.
as you get it to just on your jawline, and then you have to quickly put it back as you feel a very sharp in your mind.
Can I try and pull mine off? Like, I'm not taking it off over my head, I'm just yanking it straight off my neck.
Yanking its chain.
Literally, yeah, from the chain.
Still a will save. Fuck's sake, wisdom save.
Not a will save, is it?
Who's will?
Wisdom. Oh. A 16. 15 plus 1.
You manage to pull it and snap the chain, and the gemstone just sits in your hand and it's wobbling.
I'm just gonna fucking launch it. Like.
It flies off into the nebula. You see that purple star take its place and then just fade into another star.
As she throws it, I'm like, into the abyss it goes. Will we all die? No one knows.
Oh, he's rhyming now. Oh.
I love it.
If he edges towards Belle and tries to read the book,
Cool. As you see it, everything that I'm saying is like getting scribed on there, and it's like fading off the pages as it's scribing on there.
It's just a shopping list. It just says like eggs, milk, bread.
Give me a
Will to live.
Give me a perception check as you look at the book.
Such dear diary. Today,
8.
Today I met friends.
8. Yeah, cool. Exactly as well described it. Althea, your left eye goes purple. The colouring of it.
Am I rolling today? Shit.
How far up is this void?
About 40 feet.
I'm gonna fly up 20, please.
You are 20 feet closer to the void.
What's the necklace doing?
Nothing.
I've been meaning to ask, where did these come from?
They appeared.
I
Yeah.
would say perhaps originally. I'm just going to point up.
I'm going to turn to Remy and Velk and be like, no, ours were given to us.
I'm gonna drop back down to the floor and then also attempt to rip off.
Give me a wisdom.
16.
You are able to. Are you just pulling it off or tucking it off over
Yeah,
here?
just.
Yeah. You snap the chain and it sits in your palm. Foof, flies off into
Eat,
the sky.
motherfucker.
It takes its place amongst the nebula. Your eyes do not change.
Ours were given to us by, what's his name, AD? I can't remember.
Don't ask me.
Alfie would know.
As she said this, I'm like, the would-be hero ponders. Were they given to us, or did they simply appear around the necks when teleporting?
I thought they were given to us. I thought you would put them around our
Ponders
necks.
again. Thinking deeper. Did
You-
they appear around the necks?
Althea and Velk, you were given them.
By, what's his name?
I'm just getting it.
Phosphorus? Something like that.
You said they appeared around our necks.
They appeared around your neck as you teleported.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Ray's just
Ponders
gonna turn to
deeper.
FaZe.
Still
Ray's gonna
pondering.
turn to FaZe and be like, my eyes do the weird thing.
No.
They now suddenly turn purple because she's intrigued.
Now they're both purple.
That's a thing. Don't worry. Okay, cool. Weird.
I'm going to try and
She
take it
kind of
off
just
again.
stares up.
I really want to take this thing off.
You need a hand?
Maybe.
This is fucking...
I'm trying to use my long sword as like a mirror, like a reflective surface to look at my eye.
I would like to try and assist FaZe taking theirs off.
You die first.
Gotta be what it's gotta be.
Bye.
Batrus. His name is Batrus.
Patrice.
Hey.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that down next to all the other names I've written down in the context.
Oh, paragraphs going on over here.
So who in the what now?
Um,
Raya, you're going to attempt to help FaZe.
No, Etherea's going to
Etheria.
help. Try and help me
Etherea's
take
going
it
to try
off.
and help FaZe.
Yep.
Okay. Can you both give me wisdom saves?
Oh god.
I'm a cleric. I can't fail a wisdom. Yeah, 17.
Yeah, it's harder now because you failed once already.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Uh-huh.
Wisdom save. That would be a 11.
Cool.
Oh no.
I'm never going to get this thing off.
So, as you resist and you go to take it off, you feel the pull, and it is stronger than it was before, as if it's now aware of what you're trying to do. And then Etheria gets involved and pulls on the amulet chain, and you both think you fall away from it. FaZe, you feel the release around your neck. There's no longer the chain upon your skin, and then you see Etheria with it round their neck instead.
That didn't entirely work.
I'm gonna look at Velk, who has made no effort to take theirs off. Like, you keeping that?
FaZe, your left eye goes purple. Your soul forged eye, yeah?
Ooh, funky.
LED light.
I kind of like Amethyst.
Thank you. I like rose quartz.
Thank you.
I'm sorry you've got 2 of these now, though.
Do I have to take it off?
Probably.
Oh.
It's entirely up to you with it.
Oh, as we look up, are the stars that have newly formed, the 3 that have gone up there,
You can't see
are
them.
they? They're not
It's,
there
it's as
anymore.
if you've thrown rice into a grain of rice.
They're not making like a constellation or a pattern or
No.
anything. Okay.
You saw them like shine purple, like bright, and then they just fade into the rest of the stars.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you blink, you lose it, type thing.
Okay.
Plot twist, 15 levels in, we're gonna need those necklaces for immunity.
50 levels in, we're going to get hit by the face.
Writing that down.
They fly through the air.
It came back.
It's alright, I've wrote it down already. Thrown their immunities away.
I'm gonna look at Etheria and be like, the Caranthian ponders. Is my mind strong enough? I believe so. And I will give Etheria a bardic inspiration.
Ooh. What you doing with it, Theory? Fuck all, because I'm keeping them.
Just in case. Just in case.
I'm gonna try and take phases off.
Ooh, collecting.
Cool, give me a
I'm
wisdom
gonna try.
save.
We've got a
Oh,
bunch of
no,
rerolls as
I
well.
thought
We've
you
got
already
like
got
5.
Oh yeah, I've got bardic inspiration and a reroll. Well, everyone's got rerolls, but why didn't I use it then?
I don't know.
I don't know.
So we're new to AD's campaigns.
You're just robbing the chat, that's all it is.
Ooh, nat 20.
Ooh, you fail. No. What's total?
Oh god, nat 20.
Cool. Are you using your inspiration?
What do I
I
get?
feel
for
like because
inspiration?
he's asking that,
D6.
you
Yeah.
should.
Based on previous experience of Eddie's campaign, I think I will. What do I use? Is it D4 or D6?
Six.
D6.
6.
D6.
Use a D4 if you want, I won't stop you.
Use 2.
That is a 4. 24.
Cool. It comes off easily and just sits in your hand.
Do I have to chuck it up there? Is that the thing?
I think that's where they want to be.
What we have been doing?
Whether
no,
it's
but
the right thing or not.
you got that purpley stuff though.
What purpley stuff?
Your eyes.
My eyes.
You have one eye. Whoever's still got them.
No, it's those that got rid of them, got the eyes. So
Yeah.
Althea's still has got a purple eye, Bjorn's got a purple eye, Faze has got a purple eye.
When I got a purple eye, when did I?
When you chucked your thing.
Still
But
gonna look at a
Rhea-
longsword.
But Rhea doesn't.
Should have picked a different colour to be honest, but Rhea doesn't.
I don't know if purple's my colour. I'll launch it.
Cool. It does exactly the same as the others, takes its place amongst the nebula, and your left eye goes purple.
If I do the other one, does the other eye go?
One way to find out.
Perhaps.
Can I
Hey,
examine
yeah.
the necklace and try and figure out what
Yeah.
it actually is?
Yes, you can, Etheria. You can, as an arcane practitioner, examine the magical item forced upon your party in the first in session 0. Yeah.
As a
No, fling it into the abyss. Fling
As
it
I
into
see-
the abyss.
as I see Etheria like go to inspect it a little bit more, I just start like elbowing Bjorn, just smiling and pointing.
Look, look.
Yeah, I'd like to examine the necklace.
Last one. Oh no, Velk's still goes.
Give me an arcana check.
I'm gonna take a reroll.
Take all of them.
Yeah.
That would be a 19.
Yes. Tis good.
Yeah.
You lot,
Okay.
I have an excuse. Alright, I'm playing a fighter. The rest of you.
From the best you can tell, the stones are used as a scrying component.
Oh shit! I should have known that.
Not in your usual, like you've heard of wizards and such, and higher level practitioners to be able to scry on like specific people or locations, but there is a. If you were to use this as a spell component, scrying is the thing that makes more sense to you, just as you're examining the way the shape of the crystal's been done. What you did pick up on is just seeing them being flung around, and the two you wore is they're all identical. There's clearly an element of resistance bound into them, that once they are given to someone, placed upon, you don't know how that side of it works, but you do obviously from experience click that once they're part of a person or bound to a person or whatever arcane practitioner did, they do resist being released. You're not entirely sure whether the gem gives a fuck if you throw it to the nebula or not. That is entirely your choice.
I think someone might be watching us.
Ow.
These are used in scrying. That's. I think they are.
Why would anyone be watching us? We've never met before.
Wearing these necklaces would tell them where we were. That kind of thing.
Do I know if they're used to scry or can be scryed on?
They're used as a component in scrying. How you're like, there's many ways they could be.
Yeah.
As many as Etheria can think of. You could probably use it to spy on someone, use it to track someone. None of the above. It's just a component in the art of scrying.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's used in scrying.
Unlikely adventurers brought together by an entity unknown. Quite the tale to tell.
Yes.
It's you. You literally have been narrating this entire story, almost knowing exactly what's happening next. And this is getting all a bit weird. Like, is no one else picking up on this?
Yeah, a little.
Did I take mine off? I didn't, did I?
You've still got one on and Velk's poison.
I'll try and take mine off.
Cool, wisdom save.
Wisdom, yep.
Reroll.
Don't wanna. 16.
You sticking with it?
How many have we got left? We've got like 3 left, haven't we? Yeah,
3
I'll
left,
reroll.
yeah.
Not 20.
16 were enough. Are you?
Gotcha.
I was like, poker face.
How to make us use rerolls.
Well, yeah, otherwise the chat get angry with me when you finish the session with like 14 fucking
We've got
rerolls.
Two left.
Why did you reroll them 9 nat ones? We never fought. So,
While you were gone, we did have that conversation.
you successfully take it off and it sits in the palm. Cheers, Biggie.
3 rerolls.
Fuck you.
It's 10 past 11.
Put my kids through college. Shut up. We'll get to that bit in a minute. I'm not leaving it here. All right, we're not leaving it here.
No.
Yep.
Yeah, you now have the amulet in your hand.
I don't know if I want to throw it.
Bro, that one we still have his. I
mean-
point to Velk.
If these were given to us by obviously something very powerful, they were forced on us, almost like, wrapped around us so that someone could know where we are, and they're wanting to stay on us. Like, it wasn't easy to take it off. We want to keep them. Like, we want to continue to broadcast our location to someone that brought us all here together. Does that sound like a wise thing to do?
Certainly a little unusual.
I get the feeling that the connection might be broken though. Maybe if I wrap it up so they won't be able to. I don't know.
I mean, look, it's your choice, but
Wrapping it up
Like
is going to make a difference while Velka's still got one around his neck.
Well, as the same person that gave us these amulets and put these on us brought us here because me and Velk and Remy used the amulet to get in here. Like, there was a shape in the wall, an indent in the wall, the same shape as the amulet, and it was almost like the amulet was a key to get into this building.
So we might need to get out then. Tabitha, you don't have one.
I do not.
Neither does Remy.
No.
why
What do you-
us?
Yeah. Do you know anything about anything like this? Do you
Tabitha
recognise
shakes his
this
head.
thing? Or?
Remy shakes his head and Tabitha goes, fucked if I know. But if you say they're scrying on us, do you really want to keep it? I don't care, I'll just leave.
Well,
Not following you, so.
yeah, Velt's still got one. I'll flick it up.
It goes into the nebula and takes its place. Okay, kisses.
Velk, I think I agree with what Etheria said about, at least if you want to keep it, taking it off so it's not connected to you and therefore your location.
As you're talking to Velk, Etheria, you feel pain crawling up your cheek to your left eye.
Pen.
Pain. You scrunch your eyes closed real tight, and there is a it reminds you of what happened to your hand, your mage hand, as your eyeball solidifies. And when you finally open your eye, you take
Oh, fuck.
2 points of psychic damage. And your left eye is replaced now with a orb of purple sapphire.
That's pretty sick. It looks cool. That is not as rare.
I draw.
Not that much of a dick.
I partially draw my sword to look at myself.
Is it that shiny, is it? This motherfucking thing is like a
My,
mirror.
my sword is a mirror.
That's very true. Yeah. Or is your mirror a sword? You have a gemstone for a left eye. There is little lines of like where your veins have come to the surface almost, and they kind of just reach up and like spider leg away from the main eye, but it sits, and you have a purple sapphire gemstone for an eyeball.
Can I see out of it?
You can.
Oh, that's weird.
You doing it?
You remember the moonstones that I found in session 0?
Are you asking me?
Things. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And you know how I said that I would use this druidic craft, and I was able to like cast and stuff with them.
Yep.
Is there anything I can possibly do with these moonstones to figure out what the fuck is going on?
Not really. Like, you'd have to be a bit more. I think
Can I unwrap your plot
Specific.
with these stones?
Yeah, you'd have to. You'd need more access to more druidic magic to like.
Oh, say less. That's fine. Just that I double check, just in case I was being really dumb.
Yeah, get a bit more
like
XP.
not
and
looking
try
at the
again.
neck, like not looking at the necklace around my neck.
Yeah. Don't worry. Nobody did.
Pull the bottom of my eyelid down and try and poke it a bit like a contact.
It's hard. It's an actual solid gemstone in place of your eye. But you feel it as if, you feel if you stabbed it, it'd hurt.
So I can still feel sensation and stuff.
Yes.
Well, I'm part. Well, my skills and stuff partially crystal and stuff anyway. So. Well, this is strange.
I'll just get the new artwork done. Thanks for that.
Oh, I've only just drawn myself. Thanks, guys.
Tick, tick, tick.
Elk.
Oh god, I don't know what we're supposed to do, Belk.
Keeping it or taking it off, or
What are you doing with the necklace? Not, can you help?
The bard shows the party the middle finger and jumps into the nebula.
This was the way out all along.
Join us next week for campaign 2.
Where did Eddie start and like Velcro end? Like I can't see this.
the
at this
line is
point now.
blurred.
One of them's
Very.
method. I don't know if it is Velk already.
Perhaps while the chronicler ponders the start of his next paragraph, we should find possibly a way out. Investigate for doors.
Well, I did try and have a look, but I was really distracted by these interesting, the smoothness. It's nice.
I'm going to start looking for doors or hidden passages or anything.
Give me a perception check.
Someone should.
I'm still keeping like
Someone
both
should do
eyes on
something like
Velk.
this.
Just
Take it off.
still look at my eye.
That is a flat 18.
Flat 18, cool. With the nebula now present, this like blob of image, you can, as you look around, you can see now that there are like pinks and blues and oranges and purples that kind of just shimmer and disappear along the walls. But there's a pattern to them, and they're shimmering to the western point of this dome, and they sort of all go to there and shimmer out. And you kind of follow it, and as you get over there, there's a portal, as in a door portal, to the nether realm, where probably someone of Velk's height and stature could walk through easily, but you lot would have to crawl. But it definitely leads like out and away, and you can see that the immediate hallway from it, or tunnel from that archway in the rock, is flat-ish. But again, is of a more natural nature than a dug.
Mel, is this your house?
You could not see it before the nebula was present.
Guys, I've found a way to leave if we want.
I'll stand next to FaZe and be like, a powerful entity drawing unlikely heroes. Scrying. But perhaps a chance to talk back.
Both cryptic and sort of helpful.
Tick, tick. You see the edges of the nebula shrink a little bit.
Does anyone have any ideas? I'm feeling remarkably stupid.
They're looking at my iron sword. What the fuck?
The edges of the nebula
slow.
shrink. Does the visibility of the portal?
Yep.
That also kind of.
You were getting that on the next bit, but you know it's like you're a DM or something.
I was actually also going to ask the same question, so...
Does anything look different from looking through with my now gemstone eye? Does anything, like looking at the nebula and the room around, does it all just look the
If you
same?
close one eye, there's a slight purple film like across it, but it doesn't seem to react any differently or anything.
Okay.
I stop walking towards the hole. Like, time to go. One thinks.
Great. Very helpful.
Are you all leaving?
I look back up and go, can I have my necklace back?
You see a frowny face in the stars.
A voice says
Just
no.
as that.
Yeah. It's a lottery hand. You.
Okay.
Do we this spiky ball? Is it coming with us? Is it staying in?
I don't think we can move it. And I think if we try, it'll close the portal immediately and we won't be able to leave.
I'm just going to go over to the portal and have a look inside. And crawl through if I have to.
As you look forwards, as I said to Bjorn, you do see as the nebula is slowly closing of its own accord anyway, the portal kind of shimmers and then is real again, shimmers and is real again. And you see that pulsing multitude of colours coming towards it. And the hallway ahead of you is walkable enough for Velk. And you could probably walk it, but you'd be in squat walk all the way down it, which good luck with that. You are a Dragonborn, so you do have thighs like He-Man. But yeah, so you
Yes,
can
you might
travel
be
down
crawling.
it. It's about, yeah, definitely. You might need oiling up, a bit of WD-40 and you'll be right. But I was going to say lube, but I didn't. All right, I didn't.
Ready, yeah?
But yeah, you can crawl down it if you wish to, Etheria. Comfortably. I mean, it is, you know, a smaller tunnel, but you can crawl down it comfortably.
So the whole thing's getting smaller. Can I see any end to it? Another room or a corner or?
Ahead of you, you can hear running water, and a little bit of light every now and then. That's more natural light than the nebula and such you've experienced recently.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for it.
Cool.
Just
That's
as
area-
fast as possible.
Etheria's out. Go on, Velk.
As
Go,
I'm walking
yes.
through it, I'm like, the adventurers ponder their fate as their escape closes upon them.
Are you in the tunnel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else in the tunnel?
I'm in the tunnel.
Anyone?
let's go.
Anyone in the dorm room?
No, I'd have made sure that Remy goes before me, but yeah.
Cool. As you all go through, Remy goes in and follows you. Tabitha doesn't follow you, and the door goes.
Tabitha doesn't follow.
No, Tabitha is in the dorm room.
Why?
Well, oh well.
She
Die.
knew more about that than I think she was letting on.
Remy,
Why not?
go on.
I was just going to say, then why not say anything?
She had her reasons. I don't think she'd have said that she knew it was the star magic unless I asked.
Ulterior motives, some ponder.
And the time we spent with her on the boat, it was pretty much her entire personality not to say anything unless asked. And even then, it would be followed up with snide comments. And
She wasn't very forthcoming with anything.
it is obviously a terrible pity that she is gone. But let us carry on.
Come with Dave there. Come with Dave. So, as you make your way towards the running water, Etheria, as you get to the edge, you come out onto like a cliff edge, but you're still within the mountain. It's very thin and it kind of goes left and right, slopes down, and there is a long river of water running through this immediate area where you are. In front of you, just across the river, there are 3 large tunnels that go off straight in front of you and to the off to the left and the right. Can you all go into roll 20, please?
Yeah.
And I will move you all there for a moment. Will I? Where's the map?
Very straight.
Can you see it?
Is it that one we're already on?
Yeah. Are you? Can you see yourselves here? Can you see my ping? You see
Yes.
yourselves on the right hand side? So you've just come out of the tunnel. Is that even on the stream? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
You've just come out of the tunnel. Yep. And you can see that the river is running beneath you here, and then across the way you have these 3 tunnels down here.
Ping the 3 tunnels again, sorry?
Here. Here.
Yeah, the big. Just big
Here.
Big four.
Zoom out a little bit if you have to. It makes a bit more sense. And this is a 2-minute tabletop map, hand drawn. How cool is that?
Cool.
Very cool.
How did you do that?
There is a oh, where's the thing? The river is about 15 foot across, and it runs off from your right down past the bottom of your left. You've all come out. You can rearrange yourselves as you so wish next time, but we're going to call the session there, so we don't get into a fight at 11:30. So that is the end of session 1, folks. Holy poop! What are you lot doing?
I don't know. I'm so confused.
We're
So-
playing level 1. That's what we're doing.
What you done to my character already?
Yeah, what have you done to us?
To be fair, you look sick though.
Oh,
Why?
Jellysaurus!
Like, oh,
So,
huh?
Jellysaurus
What?
Rex is actually Friday, who is one of the artists that I use a lot. When we release our sourcebook for Atoria, which you lot are playing in, a lot of the artwork that you will see has been done by Jellysaurus / Friday. She's also responsible for the new Twitch buttons that will be going underneath where they say about, Discord, YouTube and stuff. They're super cool. So when I've got all them, they're going on there. And she's doing some more stuff for us that I will show you when she's finished. But yeah, so thank you, Jellysaurus. Say everyone hello, Jellysaurus. So yeah, Tar Aldi. Anytime, Jellysaurus. Me, you and Liddle,
Done.
down fucking Boozer. What the fuck?
No,
It wasn't my fault. Do you know what I mean?
You don't need to like correct that. That's it. Aldi from
Don't
now
worry.
on.
Done. Aldi.
If it helps, it's not new, Jelly. It's not new. So, thank you very much for tuning in. We had quite a lot of viewers all the way through. I like blown away, overwhelmed. Thank you so much for jumping on and watching. I hope you've enjoyed this lovely level 1 experience. I was hoping to be on level 2 by the end of it, but oh no!
No, I promise we're not actually dumb. I swear. Like, we're just
There's no proof
learning
for
how to
that.
play
Don't
new
listen to them.
characters.
Speak for yourself.
So thank you very much for
Alright,
tuning
well.
in, guys. It's been a pleasure. You lot, welcome to Colossus. Welcome to
Yeah.
you know when glory is not enough, and let's crack on again next Monday. So for now,
When your intelligence stat is not enough.
for now, say goodbye, players.
Bye,
Bye,
players.
players.
Hey.
Bye bye, folks.
Tired.